First stop to the next stop. Covering all your sports info. You step in and stand clear.
Let's go. Don't stop.
You got Super Dave, Coach Kirk, and Todd the Magnificent.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip hop and sports live.
Mike's up.
Just the 1-2.
Yeah.
1-2.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are live. It is Monday, June 9th. It is Super Dave along with Coach Kurt.
Yes, yes.
Serge the Sports Star. Welcome back.
What's happening? Good to be back.
Slick the Relic.
living fossil.
Todd the Magnificent.
Back in the building.
G Money in the house.
What up, what up, what up?
Shout out to Tiny who's in here with us, holding us down.
Yes, indeed.
All right, it's been a long weekend, but I'm back. Made it. Did the fishing trip. Friday, Saturday. Capital Jazz yesterday. Me and Coach Kurt.
Yes, long
And
day.
today we are back and live in full effect.
Did you get
Back
me
in the
sleep?
house.
Did you get me sleep, man?
I slept.
That's
I
why
slept
he
up
ain't eat.
until we got here. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
That's why he
all
ain't eat
right,
today.
so,
I had to get in the house about
All right.
2:30, man.
all right, so, all right, never mind all that. We here to talk about some sports, some things. We should start off with rest in peace to Sly Stone.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just found that out.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And Dana with the info.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got some football news, some baseball up and downs for some people. Mets are rolling. Tuesday, last Tuesday, so since we left, the Knicks dropped the axe on Tom Thibodeau. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
And
Thoughts from everybody.
the championship game is 1-1 in the NBA and it's 1-1
In hockey.
in hockey. Ding, 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 ding. All right. So
You gotta give a shout out to Coco.
Yes.
all right.
She won the French Open.
Shout out to Coco Gauff.
First American woman in a
10 years.
minute.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
men too.
American play, yeah.
American play, period. Yeah.
10 years.
I think the last
Agassi
American
is
man
19
was
Agassi,
Agassi.
1999.
Wow.
Right?
That's a long time.
Long time.
Wow.
So Coco is on the rise. How about that?
Yeah.
That's right.
You see the interview.
Terrible.
Yeah,
What
she
you
didn't
did?
want the girl that lost. She didn't
She
want to
blamed
give
the
her
win.
props.
This is what I don't understand.
Mhm.
If you're dominating her, I can see you coming up with that excuse.
Right,
But they battling 500 each other.
right.
Right.
And she's like 5-6 against
Against
Coco.
Right,
So what are you talking about?
Right, yeah.
Y'all might go through the whole career 500,
right.
or she might start dominating you.
I'll take
I ain't
it
get
a
that
step
either.
further. She was blaming the win there.
Yeah,
Was it Coco playing with the win
right.
too?
Both
Right.
ways.
They both so
Both
Exactly.
sides.
I don't. She
And
had
they
to play.
switched
Well,
sides, too.
she had to play under the conditions too.
The win only blew
On her side.
But with the win aid, it helped Coco's game, not her game.
Yeah.
They said
Right.
that in the beginning. If they open up the roof, that it would help Coco.
But they
not
switched
help her.
sides.
No, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
in the way their games are.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
and then they practice with it closed.
Right.
And then they decide to open it.
Open it up.
Ain't no excuses. You had.
Right.
She had. I forgot how many unforced errors.
And she won the
that's-
first
I think
set.
it was 70.
She made a mistake.
Yeah, she had like.
Isn't that
she
how
got
you win
70.
She had
games?
so many unforced errors. So you can't blame. You blame it on their
Right.
game.
You win games
all.
by the other person making more
Mistakes, exactly. And that's what she did.
But
so.
the thing about it is, she's not even dominating her.
No,
Like,
she's not.
So get
Yeah.
out of here with those
No, she's
excuses,
not.
man.
No,
Well,
she
that should really lead us right to, how Tibbs got fired, and some people don't want to acknowledge that he messed up, and they feel that he deserved it. And they really didn't call me and say, "Yo, Dave, what you think?" 'Cause,
I know you was happy anyway.
They called me
see,
Dave.
No, see, if they would have called me, would have been like 4 years ago. I would have
Extension.
so like He did a decent job. So in modern day history, but to a degree, what the problem was, he blew it the first 2 games.
Mhm.
You blew the first 2 games at home.
Mhm.
And the onus is on you to get to the championship, which they was looking at. So then people are, oh, winning, isn't it about building a culture? But you blew it, you know.
But Rick Carlisle been the coach in Indiana forever, and they wasn't winning all in between. So why he couldn't just stay?
Indiana ain't New York.
Some teams,
No,
as y'all,
but
as you know
still,
about Tomlin,
It's
some
it's
teams
still
is
like
better than others.
you got to the champion. You got to the Eastern Conference Finals. You've done what no one has done since
Right.
Pat Riley.
True.
Right? So you give the man a chance. Like, you just don't get rid of him, because now whoever they get, if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, it's a bust.
Right.
And then they want to go after Jason Kidd that's under contract with someone else. Like,
Well,
leave that man alone.
Teams
Go
have
get
done
somebody
that before.
else.
Teams have done that before.
Yeah, but
That's
still.
not
They give him permission.
They get
right.
permission.
And they're
Yeah.
gonna have to give up
So
something.
yeah, you got to give up
I
compensation.
don't think Kid want to come.
But
I wouldn't give him permission. I would tell the Knicks kick rocks. I wouldn't give him permission.
All right,
No.
so well, you in Philly, right?
Yeah, I know where
All
I'm
right,
at.
so-
I'm just saying.
I'm just checking.
I have an opinion. You said you
No,
want to talk about it, right?
I'm not just guarding your opinion.
Oh,
he's interested.
Yeah.
I know where you go. I know what you're showing him.
Yeah.
He's
he
interested.
said he is interested.
Yeah, he's interested.
Share interest in the job.
Yeah.
It's conflicting, but so this is the way the game is. So I believe, based on the players' exit interviews, how they was pleased with him, and then they looked at him blowing those first 2 games, and then how Carlisle outcoached him, like by him not using his bench, forcing his hand to use his bench. So if all these things are against you, who are me and you to say keep him?
Can I say something to that?
Go for it.
You're saying, okay, he blew this game, he blew that game, and whatever, I got a coach. Yet all that, they made it to the conference finals, the way he's been coaching all this time. And the ultimate thing is players play, coaches coach. Yes, he should have made some adjustments. He didn't, blah, blah, blah. That's
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
What is blah, blah, blah?
I'm going to answer that.
Well, let us know blah,
Okay,
blah, blah.
because blah 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 is he coaches the same way all during the season. For the past 4 or 5 years that he's been there, he hasn't changed his coaching style. He's been that way. He plays those guys a lot of minutes. He don't use his bench. The offense is kind of a little stagnated, and in the playoffs, if you got a dominant player that handles the ball like Brunson, and he allows it, defense are going to – it's easy to take away one guy who's dominant on the ball than an offense that moves around, such as what Indiana does.
Well, they were saying, for what I understand, it came out, Dolan made the call,
That's what I heard too.
and he got tired of his stubbornness.
Right.
They just got tired. He got tired of it. So that's why because you can't get rid of him according to where just because they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, they lost.
Right.
We all know Indiana was a better team than them. I know you keep saying no, but they won. They won.
So
No,
they
I'm not gonna. But the thing is, Dolan said he basically just got tired of him and his stubbornness, and he had enough. He's the owner. He made a change. He's making a change. But I don't think he gets fired because of where the Knicks reached this year, because he went further this year than last year. So you can't fire him off of that.
Right.
But he just said he's tired of his stubbornness. And I guess the ceiling, he reached the ceiling. I guess he feel with him. He's looking for somebody to take him over the top. We see who that is if they get there.
What you got to say? I know you guys.
They also said that they did exit interviews with a bunch of the players,
Right.
and they was
Complaining.
dissatisfied with what was
Yeah.
going on. And when you lose your players, you lose your team, and
Yeah.
that's probably what's happened to him in every job he's ever had, because he's the same, like Coach said, the same guy at every place he's been.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a short bench. He plays his guys a lot, and he's never changed. And he's not gonna change, which is my belief why he's not gonna get another job in the NBA, because guys are not gonna want to play for him because of his style. And as far as the Indiana Pacers being a better team than the Knicks, yes, they're a better team as a whole. And talent-wise, I'll agree with Tiny. The Knicks have more talent, but they're not as cohesive a team as the Pacers are. The Pacers are more cohesive.
I agree with that.
Oh, well, let me say
I
this,
agree with
which is interesting. If you reflect back on when Dallas beat Miami the first year that LeBron, Wade, and Bosh got together, was Dallas necessarily a better team than them?
At the time, yes.
At that time,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Yes, they were.
that was the
Did they
first year
execute
that
better,
those,
or
It was a better
were they
team.
it was the
They was a
first
better
year
team.
Miami was together in the
They were
playoffs.
Dallas
They
was
had
together for a while.
experience,
That team was together
That
for a while.
was what
Mhm.
made the
And that's what happens when
Because after that, the next 2 years, they won the
Right.
championship.
usually, and you see that with teams on the come up. Like you look at Detroit now. In a couple of years, they might be the first place team if they keep that team together because they've been building. And that's usually
now the
what
Tibbs
happens.
get the job? Oh, never. Who said that?
But usually that's what teams look how long. Look with Boston.
Right.
They've been together for so long. You know what I mean? Because they was in the Eastern
Knocking on the
Conference
door.
like about
And
two
they
or three
made it to the
times.
finals, right?
About 2 or 3 times. And they just but they keep the same nucleus
Mhm.
together. Eventually, you'll knock that door down. You know,
That's everything.
and they change. Right. That's what I say. Mostly all the teams did that.
Yep.
Chicago, Detroit,
right, Detroit.
You know, even when the Knicks, when they was in their strong years,
Right.
you know what I mean? And the night, all the teams did. LA, all them teams did that.
All right, so let's
You know.
put this under a microscope for a second. So Tibbs is getting $30 million not
Still
to
gotta
come
pay
to
him.
work.
Yeah.
He
Well, once
won't-
you couldn't
he won't
get
be the
80.
last coach like
You
that.
forgot what you going to get 80 million to stay
Right.
home.
Well, we're examining him.
Monty
right
Williams, he getting paid
Mon-
80 million to stay home by
Mon-
2 teams.
now. Monty should never come to work.
No.
But if Tibbs get hungry and thirsty, because I believe once you come back, you fall under whatever the contract of the next team is.
Right.
So then you won't be getting that money
Right.
for
If
staying.
you get
out.
another job, right.
So if
It's a,
Tibbs,
a head coaching job or just any job.
well,
No,
Can
it's
you
Wow.
be
head
an
coaching.
assistant?
I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure.
It's
That's a
hard.
good question.
I'm not
It's
sure.
hard when you've been a head coach job, and
Right.
they've kind of phasing out the older type coaches.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't
They're
getting
phasing
another
that out.
job. Between
You know,
his
the younger
age
guys.
Well, look
and
at-
the-
yeah,
and
'cause look
style,
at what
he's
you
not gonna
call-
get a job.
Van Gundy came back as an assistant.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
years later,
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
after
but
he
he still
got
cut.
paid.
Well, he was doing the booth. He was,
Right.
He was
Right.
doing the
And
booth.
then he came back. When he came back, he got assistant coach.
Right.
He didn't get a head coach.
But the beauty of it is that as far as like they said, the NBA, you could pay your staff as much as you want to pay because it don't count against the cap.
Mhm.
So
Right.
you could pay 8 different coaches if you want to because it doesn't affect your cap.
Right.
So that's why
Oh.
teams do that with coaches. They don't care because they know that's just part of the budget as far as they're concerned. We're gonna pay this for 3 more years, and then that'll be off the books, and then we'll pay the next guy 2 more years, and he'll be off the books.
Rich people.
So,
Right. It's monopoly money.
so talking about Jason Kidd, if you were him, would you stay in Dallas or come to the Knicks? I would stay in Dallas. He has a better chance of winning
He has a better,
with,
but you
with
have
his
to look
team.
at it. This coming year, I think the Knicks have a better chance than Dallas.
What, coming New Year?
This
Why?
coming, first of all, everybody's coming back. Nobody's hurt. You got Dallas. Kyrie's going to be out at least half a year,
more than half a year.
right? Because he's coming off what, the Achilles,
Yeah.
and walking
ACL.
crutches always gets hurt every year.
Who's walking question?
AD, he get hurt every year.
How you gonna?
Yeah, so
Yeah, street club.
excuse me.
Walking
Wait.
clutches.
So
Yeah,
y'all talked about OG. OG played the whole year this year,
Right.
most of the games.
Right.
Well, maybe Anthony Davis will play the whole season.
Maybe. Well, he did 2
Yeah,
years
I don't
before.
think you've been
He
here
played
long
about
enough to
70
know
something
anything better.
But the other thing about Dallas is that there's a lot of rumors that they're gonna break that team apart and build
Yes.
And
around,
build around
Cooper Flag,
Cooper Flag.
which means Anthony Davis is out. Kyrie, when he come back, will probably be out. So now he's gonna have to rebuild the whole new
Really?
team.
You,
He
you
might
heard
not
that?
want to do that. He might want to
You
go ahead.
didn't. You didn't
and
see
go
the
to
poster
an
thing I
established
sent you
team.
Right.
about Kyrie?
Nah, I didn't.
And
He said he don't
the
think he'll
owner
play for
doesn't
Dallas
really
again.
want to. The owner that bought
You
the
didn't see that?
team from Westnate wanted a casino in Dallas. They didn't want to do that. The
Yeah,
town
the-
didn't
the-
want to pay for it. So
the
his
state-
thing
yeah.
at first he was talking about moving the team to another city, to Vegas or whatnot. That all comes into play with that situation and whatnot, you know. And Kyrie's in his
I think the second year of his contract.
no, he's this is his what what do you call it when you got a
he
he got an option this year.
No, I think next year. Not
No,
this year coming.
This year he's
He
got an
just signed
option.
that new contract.
Right, he's got an option.
Okay.
Look
Yeah.
it up. Stop, stat boy. Look it up.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
he's got an option.
That's
I
my new
believe it's
thing.
this year,
Let's see how this works.
and whether they're gonna resign him.
You Google
But didn't I didn't send that thing to y'all about Kyrie?
Yeah, you did.
I
Yeah,
did send him, right? He
Yeah.
said he didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
He has a player option for the 25-26 season.
Right.
Oh, okay.
This year.
This
this
year
year
coming
coming
up.
up. This
Yeah.
year coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, and whether they're gonna resign him, who knows? Because he's not gonna play half the
But
season.
Kyrie, see, but this what I never liked about Kyrie. He's shaky anyway. He's shaky with the injuries,
Right.
and then he's shaky with his.
Loyalty.
Oh,
Right.
but he's been
You know
all
what I'm
right. He's been all right with Dallas.
Well, when he's on the floor, he's fine.
Right.
But we know that he's injury prone.
It
True.
get to a point
You know what I'm
where
saying?
And they get
For me,
older too.
it get to a
Mhm.
point where how much more of this you gonna take from him?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because how many more teams you think is gonna stick their neck out for you?
And too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're not gonna be loyal, I don't
Unless
care
you're
how
ready
good
to
you are.
win right now.
After a
and he
while,
could
you
fit
get-
in.
If
you
you
get
get fit
tired.
into a right now team,
Right.
you could take him
Because
he's still a player.
because you just imagine if he never left Boston, what that team would be.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? With those guys,
You know.
but I
Same
don't know.
thing with the Nets.
But you never know because if he stayed
I didn't
dead,
want him. I
if
didn't
he
want
stayed
him.
dead, Tatum and Brown might not have developed the same.
True. You never. Yeah. You never.
Right.
you
No,
never-
but I truly believe they still would have. You can't stop a
I
person's
kinda
growth.
agree that.
You still would have. My thing is Kyrie is not a guy who's a ball hog. He passes the ball. Sometimes I
Right.
think he passed the ball too much.
Right.
You know, and I know he's doing it with Dallas. Like, why you pass the ball all the time?
Yeah.
You know, so them guys would have still been all right. You know, one thing I could do say about him, he's not like a ball hog guy.
No, he's definitely not a ball hog.
mm.
You know, he got other things. Well,
Mm.
basketball, as that he says, it's not my whole life,
Right.
and that's what gets into the trouble. This is a business, and the
Right.
business is you get paid to play ball.
It's hard to hear somebody say that for somebody you paying. And they talk about this ain't my
Ain't
whole
that-
life.
ain't that-
You
that's
will-
crazy.
when I'm paying you millions of
Millions,
dollars
right.
like that, I want you to say this is your life.
Right. 'Cause-
You know what I
it was
mean? Because
funny.
now you got other interests, outside interests.
Right.
You're gonna get sidetracked.
And that's
And I
funny.
feel you're not giving 100%. You know?
Right. And that
You got
is it.
music going on in your head.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
all that other
Mhm.
extra
Instead of
stuff
making it bad.
may not have happened without the money that you're making playing
Right.
the ball.
If you exactly
Right.
right.
But then suddenly out of nowhere he'll get hurt,
But you
and
know,
then all that other stuff just come into play. Like he
What do
don't
you
even-
mean suddenly out of nowhere?
I'm-
Did he get a legitimate injury or?
No, I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
it's
like
like-
it's a
but-
surprise. Like oh
but,
damn,
but
he
the
done it
other
again.
thing, and I'm going to interject this. The other thing I think it is about Kyrie. Kyrie wants to assert the fact that he's an independent person.
Right.
He doesn't want to go along with the plantation mentality
Nope.
that they want you to go along
Yeah.
with. So he's a problem when it comes to that because most guys take their millions and say, "Yeah, this is my life. This is what makes me." He's not gonna go that way. He's
No,
just not that guy.
He's
That's
not.
true too, but you taking their money.
Yeah, he's taking their money, but
Right.
he's not gonna say that. That's that.
Well, you
owe
don't
me.
be Kurt.
You don't owe me.
Kurt, you don't be
I
a
do
fool.
what I do.
If
I get that too.
You don't be a fool.
No,
If people
no,
pay
I'm-
you that money, you're
I'm
gonna
not
take
gonna
that
sit there.
money.
I'm gonna
You
take
ain't
the
letting
money.
that money
Yes,
go.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
I agree with that. Come on.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of double standards going on, and if
Yeah.
you think about it, coaches, like if you look at Tibbs, and I was saying for years that the jury was still out on him, and it was like a ceiling with him,
Right.
and I think he reached the ceiling. He exceeded it by actually beating Boston because Boston didn't take them serious.
Now, let me ask you a serious question on that, and I understand, but you don't think? I don't think that team was the way they was built right now. Was a team that could win a title right now. I think they're about another player or so away, and I think if they would have just added a piece here or there, that even with Tibbs coaching, they couldn't win with that.
think they
You know,
could.
right?
I think
That's what
the
I'm saying.
problem is
I don't think they really, to me, like Tibbs was the main cause. And I hear, like you said, what they did after the season and all the plays, they talked to the play. Now, we talked about this last week. If he was to come back, he was going to have to change his coaching
Right.
style.
He had to.
He was going to have to change it. So
Maybe-
if
and maybe
you
he
wasn't so
didn't want to.
bullheaded, right, and change your coaching style,
you would
and
still be
you
there.
know, right, because you can't play an 82 game schedule like every game's a playoff game.
No,
You can't, and then by the time you get to the playoff,
Right.
your team is worn out. When you guys, have you ever heard people saying, "Yo, I'm getting too much playing time, take me out"?
No.
You don't hear that too many from people,
Right.
and that's what they was doing. Like,
Right.
yo, you gotta put
And
the
bitches
subs in.
spoke up about
Yeah,
it.
you you can't be playing us all those minutes,
Right.
and for 82 games, you just can't do that and expect them to go, the whole way. That's like 4 series you got to win
Mhm.
to be a champion. That's a lot, man.
It is.
It's a lot.
And isn't that crazy that they the only team that
That
you
good-
hear that complain about?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no other team that ever, like Todd said, that says you play me too much.
I never heard
Nobody.
that.
Just New York.
Yeah.
Is it because it's New York?
Or is it him?
Or is it right?
It's a little quote.
Well, think
Yeah.
about it like this: he was in Chicago, and he ran Derrick Rose into the ground.
No,
Yeah.
So,
Derrick Rose got hurt. Yes, but it's a question.
so again,
Was it because
it-
of the
it
Right, you
was-
don't know.
Right.
So again, like in an unnecessary game that he didn't need to be in, you running him. So what you said is like maybe you defended him on that.
No,
But what was being said was that he was running to the ground.
They said he ran.
All right.
They said he
They-
ruined. Some people say he ruined his career.
That's
they-
right. So a
some
lot of
people
people
say that.
said that they ran him into the ground. But you could be looking at it just like a lot of people don't think that he should have been fired. And a lot of people think he should have been fired.
Mm.
So it's depending on how you look at it or the situation.
guys.
Same thing in
Okay.
Minnesota.
I'm gonna interject
Go
on
ahead,
that
interject.
because the way Derrick Rose played, the stop, the cut, that stuff might have happened any
Right.
time. We don't
It
know
can.
because his game is
It can.
stop, cut,
Yeah.
Stop, cut, that type of
Right.
cut back,
All the
this
joints
and that.
the wearing, all
Right,
the
you
joints.
wear that type of game wears on your joints. and
So
whatnot.
again, if he's a player, and just said it a few minutes ago, some people playing, they're getting the money, they're playing. So he's not going to be out there just going through the motions.
But
He's playing. But if you was out there and you didn't give him a break, and you look at the minutes, you ran him into the ground.
The thing is,
That's the way you look at it.
the thing is, when you look at Tibbs, they blamed him for having a few nicks in the game at inappropriate times, and they got hurt.
They had 30-point leads.
Right, and,
Right.
they was
And he
at
still got his
big
team in
lead,
it.
and
Still got him in
guys
there.
And Randall got hurt. OG got hurt.
Yeah,
Carl
but
Anthony
that stuff,
Towns
yeah,
got
I
hurt.
believe it because you got that bigger lead pull over.
You gotta
Right.
take him
I agree
out.
with that,
Sit him
but you
down.
can't
But that's
dictate
not his style.
when a guy's going to get hurt. You just because
No,
he's playing,
you can't.
whether he playing 10 minutes or whether he playing 35 to 40 minutes, you can't dictate when a guy.
But
gets hurt.
then,
We don't
but
know.
then, now you look at it as the owner point of
Mhm.
view. I got 12 guys on the bench, 13 guys, and you playing 6, 7 people. I'm paying these guys a whole year to sit on their behind, and you know what I'm saying. And it ain't like some are going to,
Right.
but you got some other guys who could play,
Right.
and I'm paying these guys money.
Right.
Yo, let them earn their money.
Let me ask you. a
You know what
question.
I'm saying? I'm paying these guys. I'm like giving out money for
Do
guys
you
not
really
doing no
think
work.
the owner care whether 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is playing, or he cares about them seats are full?
Well, we know.
Well,
We
so
know. Those seats gonna be
Them
full.
seats are
But the-
full.
But
It's
my
not a
thing is, you
comparison.
didn't even say what I thought you was gonna say.
Or-
Right.
I thought you were gonna say, do he care about the winning?
Right.
No,
That's what I thought you was gonna say.
well, he probably
Yeah, I want them to win.
Or if we look at it,
Yeah, that's true.
Indiana
Right.
and the
Don't care.
Knicks.
As long as
and when it was
Fill the
time,
seats.
who had the fresh legs and who was out there running, like game 6, it was a microcosm of what was wrong. Like Brunson, they playing them and they picking them up full court. Those guys look exhausted out there.
Sure they did.
And Indiana happened to have fresh legs.
Yeah.
And so you running your guys. And then, which I think was the icing on the cake, when you didn't play Shamet and Wright during the season, and now you're using them.
Right. We've been talking
Because
about
he was being
playoffs.
forced to.
Right.
You would think as an owner, you want to get called. You want to be at the celebration when they raise that trophy and hand
Right,
you
of
that
course,
trophy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to do that if I owned the
You
team.
know why I
You know?
disagree?
But he don't care about the Knicks.
Shout out to JD and the straight shot. That's James Dolan's band.
Oh.
He be on tour.
He don't.
Shout out to
He don't
T-Nice.
care. He doesn't care about the Knicks. He care more about the Rangers than he do the Knicks. He don't really care about the Knicks.
Rangers ain't won nothing in quite
You
a
know.
long time.
I don't believe that. I believe wherever the
You
money's
gotta make the
coming
money.
in, wherever the money's coming in.
No, the money's gonna come in because them things are sold out.
Right.
Corporations then bought them tickets and stuff already, so he's gonna make his money
Right.
off of that
And they
already.
make it extra when
You
you,
know.
go to the players and you go further. That's
Right.
extra.
Sure.
Extra.
Sure.
Because the garden's always sold out.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean,
That's what I thought you saw.
It
Oh,
ain't,
nah.
it ain't got nothing to do with the
Came out
coach.
of left
They
field.
sold out no matter what. I'm
Yeah.
making
Oh,
money
no,
no matter what.
Yeah, he not losing no money. Even
But
with the bad teams he
And
had, he
some
ain't
things
losing
that I
money.
agree, yes, he don't play his bench. I agree with that. Does he play him too long? I agree with that too. We can't dictate or figure out this guy got hurt because he played minutes or he played too many minutes. Now, didn't make it just because the thing I always say, end of the season, you could have came to him and said, look, we got to put a different offensive scheme, coach, this and that. They could have did that in the end of the season because that was a problem.
Right.
Change your offensive scheme, do this, do that. Or if you don't want to do it, then we're going to let you go and we're going to look somewhere else. We don't know whether that happened or not.
No.
We only getting what comes on the
What
thing,
we
'cause
do know is that
He's fine.
he's unemployed
But when
with
you
$30 million to boot.
when you think about it, though, because I'm sure even though we
Not
talk about
against the
Dolan, he's got to be listening to some of this stuff. So you got Stephen A. Smith criticizing him. You got Mikal Bridges coming out. Then, like you said, then you had the issue with Cat playing those minutes late, not playing the minutes. Then you got Shaman on the bench and all that other stuff. All that stuff played a part, I believe,
Of course it does.
into him being like,
I'm
I got to talk to this person.
I'm not debating.
Right.
But especially older time coaches, they stubborn, they
Right,
stick
and
to
they
their
go- their
ways.
stubbornness
And that's just
is
the
the
way it
stubborn-
is. The
right.
newer coaches, you get more a little more flexible. But when you get to that pinnacle, a head coach in the NBA, you usually want to stick to your style,
Right.
and you stick
And-
to what
and
got
then
you
hope,
there.
And
But-
then you
Now
hope
that-
that the planets
Right.
align, because we thought the planets was aligning for them to get to the final.
Because we get
You know what I'm saying? You got to hope sometimes that happens.
right.
More icing on the cake. I think that they were anticipating that they're the top seed. They had the home court advantage. But again, 2 games at home
Right.
was
They beat-
part of you sinking the ship.
Right. They beat the second seed. The first seed lost, Cleveland.
Right.
So now it's setting up for them to be going further. You know
But-
what I'm saying?
Look at the two teams in the championship right now.
Right.
Those teams going 10 deep.
Right.
Both of those teams
Right, they
going
do.
10 deep. So
And Carlisle's
Am
a
I-
senior coach. He's been
he's a good
been in the
coach.
league forever.
you got to look at
Dallas.
the trend there. What you
Right.
got to do, you can't be having a short bench. I usually you have a short bench in the playoffs,
Right.
but not during the regular season. You play it, but this
But
guy
your
this guy got a
offensive
short
scheme
bench
gotta
from day
change.
one.
Yeah, your offensive
Scrimmage
scheme gotta
scrimmage games he got a short bench.
But think about this. Think about this. Guys trying to make the
Why
team.
am I not
Yeah,
playing?
he ain't even getting no running. This is preseason. He trying to make the team. He got a short
He
bench.
coaching in summer league. No,
Yeah.
you ain't playing.
Yeah,
you ain't, you first round pick. You ain't playing either.
That's just how he is. I don't know what that is, boy. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Mongo, you ain't playing either, man.
I'm gonna be vocal too, like Bridges. Yeah, no, he be playing Kurt like 40 minutes. Kurt really don't want to play that long.
Him and Mikal. So shout out to everybody paying attention.
Yes, sir.
Let me shout out some people right quick. Shout out to Chef Primo, Eddie Ferguson, John Green, Arthur Nicholson, Anthony Green, Reggie English, must be my cousin, Bo Man, Michael Walker Sr., Greg Erskine, Jan, Kelly
Greg
Katie,
Erskine.
Jimmy
Yo,
Godfrey,
he
Bo
not here.
Man,
He dedicated.
New York Nez.
Greg is dedicated, yo. He a dedicated follower.
That's right. Like and subscribe.
Oh, God.
tell a friend, tell a
And he be
foe.
shouting
First
you out,
stop
too.
to the
I'm
next
crying,
stop.
yo.
That's G Money over there.
On
No
YouTube and
Greg
Facebook.
Erskine.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Hold up.
That's a standard.
Right. And shout out to my boy John Magic Forbes watching. All right.
Forbes,
All right.
what's up, Magic?
All right. Yo,
We
so
work together at the post office.
all right,
Yeah,
matter of
yeah.
fact,
Oh, wow.
Matter of fact, let's do this right now. The phone lines are open. It's 516-206-0711. The NBA is tied 1-1. Who you got? Who you like? It's first stop to the next stop. Super Dave, Coach Kurt, Surge the Sports Star, Slick the Relic,
The living fossil.
Todd the Magnificent,
Yes, sir.
G Money in the building.
What up? What up?
Tiny holding us down. All right, let's go.
Listen,
516-206-0711.
man, they couldn't wait.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say something. They couldn't wait.
The bewitching
Yeah,
hour.
they couldn't wait.
Yes, talk to us. What's on your mind, Brother Green?
What's going on, my brothers? First of all, I would like to shout out all of y'all brothers up there. But Brother Todd, good to see you up there.
My
Representing
man.
dark-skinned brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, my brother.
Yeah, Ty's the only person you see, man.
He said the
Hey,
dark skin brother.
My man.
Next thing, I want to give a shout out to my man Mongo. Your team is going 7-8, or maybe even worse this year,
Who you
my
talking
brother.
about?
Your
Because
team.
of that
Who's my team?
guy
Steelers.
quarterback
The Steelers.
over there. So hey,
Don't act like
y'all
you
ain't
don't
got
know.
much to play with over there. So giving you a shout out on your
7-8
squad.
too,
We not
shit.
talking about the NFL. So don't say I don't love you, Mongo. I'm hugging you now.
I got
because
something
I know
for
you're
you,
gonna
buddy.
be in sorrow later.
I got something for you.
Yeah, but I agree with y'all for the saying somewhat with the tip thing, and you right, Dave. It could have went either way. Some people saying they should have kept him. Some people saying he should have fired him. But I'm like my brother Matthew. I finally agree with him on certain things with the Knicks. I think he's gotten them as far as he could get them, and I think maybe a different style of coaching with a new breed of coach, maybe a younger breed or something like that, can come in there and get them where they're going. I don't like the rumors that I'm hearing that they might trade Cap for Durant. I don't see why would you trade a thoroughbred for something that's on its way out the door. Even though he's putting up some still good numbers, I wouldn't want to deliver that to him like that. I would try to keep Cap. I mean, I don't know, smash something else. To be honest, that probably is going to be a far fetch if he ever say he want to leave, because you got some big name teams that's going to chase after them. But the Knicks just not good negotiators. They give up too much all the time. But other teams make big plays. They don't give up players like the farm. The Knicks is known to give up everybody. They swap out the water boy also. So I don't know.
The Tibbs wasn't playing him, so that's why he had to go.
The water boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tibbs, I think he was his own worst enemy in the playoffs. I think we was talent-wise matched pretty good with Indiana, but I just think that coach-wise he was outmatched. And everything they thrown at him, Tibbs couldn't bring the ball up the last game. They was basically destroying Brunson. They took him out of his rhythm. They took him out of everything. But he could have just put what's name on the floor, put another guard on the floor, and make them pay for what's name. Just like, yo, if you got to, I'd rather die with McBride on the floor and let him just shoot your lights out. But you know, there it is. Tibbs was going to see the end of that, because after you blew that first two games in the the second game could have been won, but that first game and the way coaching, it just didn't make sense. And leaving that game when you left Towns on the bench in the fourth quarter so long, and then you turn around the next game, Towns won the game for you in the fourth quarter. So this shows you, like, yo, you dummy, you had your main starter that probably could have won that game for you in the fourth quarter when you sat around and had him on the bench. So it's like, I guess they were just tired, and Bridges making that statement throughout the year, you know, it didn't help none. I'm pretty sure they talked to the team about a lot of things too. So, and I'm pretty sure, Todd, that they might have mentioned to him that he got to use his bench more. And he probably didn't. They probably say, all right, well, you have it your way. But at the end of the season, if it don't come out right, we're going to have it our way. And they let him go.
Yeah, they said he's stubborn. That's what I heard. You know, they were saying he's just stubborn in his ways.
He's $30 million stubborn and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, when you can make money like that and ain't got to work for it, I ain't mad at you. You know.
Yeah.
I got to say one thing though. I feel that, and especially in that Indiana series, they let that kid Naismith, they let them beat up on Brunson some. The rest wasn't making calls. They not having that. They won't let that happen with SG. They won't let that happen. They will not let that. But they kind of was beating up on Brunson some, and they was getting away
handle
with
is
it.
better than Brunson. Brunson,
He's a bigger guard.
He's just bigger.
SGA is the truth.
No, it's no question to
Well,
that.
they both was averaging
There's
over
no
30
but
a game in the playoffs.
But I've seen some one time that guy Naismith hit right in the neck, man, and they didn't even call it, man. They was letting them beat up on him too.
That series was more physical than this
one
so
is
far.
good. Yeah.
Right.
Brunson wasn't not fighting back. He was chopping.
No,
people
yeah,
up.
that's
He
what
was
he
foul
get.
trouble a
He
lot.
get
Yeah,
he
he
get
was.
he get caught up in it
Isolated
because he
plays,
make
right.
it personal, and then
Right.
he gets caught up in that game. In the game like that, when he make it personal, then he dribbles the ball too much.
It's hard because
Hey, Todd, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel that the coach should have said something about to the referees?
I definitely believe so.
Oh, I'm sure they
Those
do.
fouls on Brunson.
I definitely believe so.
They called a lot of fouls on Brunson as well, and the way Brunson was getting hit down there, the way they was playing him aggressive. You feel like the coach should have said something more about it?
When's the last time?
Let
Before you answer that, but just say this: did he get a check in that series?
Tim?
Ted.
No.
No, let me just
Okay.
say.
I don't
Let
think
me.
he-
Thank
let
you.
me-
That's
let me
my
just
point.
say this. Going to the games and everything. Now, I see Tibbs. I was sitting on the top of the building, but I see Tibbs. He was nonstop. He was always talking to the refs, but I guess he sort of kept it respectable. But he'd be like, ref, I can't get a break. And he got the hair on his face. So, you can't see his mouth moving, but he was just totally up and down. Ref. He was always ref. I can't get a break. He would tell his players, let me work the ref. And he would always be on them refs.
Okay.
He was always talking. So it wasn't like.
Yeah, I agree with that too because he probably just didn't say that magic word that gets you a test.
Right,
but
he
they
was
working the refs.
He
all
worked
game.
the refs.
Because if you
I
look
would
at,
not-
at the Knicks coaching, as far as Tibbs concerned, he really ain't a guy that gets a whole lot of
Right.
technicals because he doesn't go at them the wrong way.
Right.
But he was
He
on
knows
them
right. He knows what to
relentlessly.
say and what not to say. There's some coaches out there that's just gonna drop the bomb
Now-
right from the giddy.
Now let me
Exactly.
say this also. When they challenged the call, he was a little more emphatic, and he had some excrements with his words, like he was really animated with it and whatnot, and he was red in the face and everything.
I like to know
got it.
what those video guys make a year.
He's not a bad coach.
No, he's
I
not a
would
bad coach.
say it's just that his style doesn't work in the NBA anymore.
No.
That's my belief.
I agree with you.
That's what it is. Because
Yeah.
he's not a bad coach.
No, he's not.
Because the guy,
Hey, sir.
he's for his play.
If he's not a best coach, are you think he's going to find some more work in the NBA?
No, I already said I don't think he's going to get another job because of the fact of his age, and they trending younger now as far as coaching, and the fact that he's stubborn, like Todd said, he's stuck in his ways, and people notice already. So they're not going to pick up on a guy who wants to play 6 guys every day.
Mongo.
They want the 10 guy
How
thing.
old is Tibbs, man?
It's a trend.
Who do you see coming there now, sir? Who do you think
For the Knicks?
coming there now?
I want you involved
Yeah,
in the
Knicks?
show with man. You just sit there, not saying nothing.
Yes,
man.
for the Knicks.
If it was me, I wouldn't be mad at them if they picked up Jason Kidd, because I believe Jason Kidd is another really good coach.
Yeah, he is.
But if they're not gonna go that route, then they probably gonna go with one of them young assistants that maybe that
Johnny
Bryant
Bryant.
that used to be there
Right.
or somebody like that. Because that's the trend.
Where is he now?
What
Where's
about
Johnny Bryant?
why they don't pick Sam Cassell?
That's a good
He been
choice too.
he been
He's
on-
another one.
But you know
He's
what?
been on interviews.
He's been
Right.
he's a top assistant on every team he's been on.
Right.
He's the
He's
lead
just not-
assistant,
never gonna
but never
that
get the head
job.
coach
Right.
job.
He
He's
may
just
not be that type
I don't
of
know
guy.
why. Yeah, he's been a lead assistant for
It's
17
like-
years.
Yeah, well,
He's
so,
been
there's a lot of guys
long
been
enough.
good assistants.
Right.
It just they're
Yeah,
not
not
head coach material.
So
Even the other kid they were talking about, Royal Ivy.
yes,
He's another kid that got a shot at getting
Yeah.
a job.
and I think he's interviewing too.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll get it before Sam Cassell will get it.
It-
I don't
And
know
Sam,
why.
yeah,
I don't know why.
Sam is at the point where nobody's gonna give him
Yeah,
that
and
job.
Sam's
He
been
just-
he's
don't-
been
I don't know what it
interviewed
is,
a few
but
times
he's
for
just
top,
not
and he
gonna
never
get the
gets it.
job.
And he never gets it.
Right,
So-
he's just not gonna get
I
it.
don't know what
Let
it
me-
is.
players like him.
Let me
Yeah.
But
say
it's
this.
different when you go from hold on. He's different when you go
An
from
assistant to
the
him.
assistant and you slide over to that
Right,
head coach
of
because
course.
now they look at you different. You
Right.
when you're assistant coach, you friendly with
Right,
everybody.
my buddy.
Yeah. You move over next to
Well, you think they're gonna let Brunson father coach him?
Well,
Nah, he's gone.
who? Brunson's
He's
dad.
gone.
Oh,
He's gone.
Yeah, they was
Nah,
complaining about
and
it too.
was
They had a
rumblings about
they
him.
there was rumblings about him. The players didn't like him either. To favoritism
Yeah.
for Jalen. He's not gonna be there. He gone.
But let me say this:
Well,
like when
you
they
think that's
ask,
gonna affect his son?
No.
no. Let
Shouldn't.
me just say this: like when people ask, like, "Well, yo, Dave, who you want to coach?" Listen, if you interview for the job and you go in front of the general manager and you was the corner guy or the video guy like Spoelstra was, and you interviewed properly, and if they like what you're saying, then you might qualify for that job.
True.
Right.
And it's all about your X's, your O's, and your assistant staff. Now, I want to say this with the assistant staff, like going to the games, these dudes sitting in the second row, they pretty quiet. The only thing they would do if it's time to challenge, they check in, like challenging. You didn't really see them get up and like, you know, they just ran it a certain type of way. So I think they had a good environment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not knocking it. But
Only the guys on the first row are the ones that actually get up and
Yeah.
go there. Because them
At
second
your
guys
point,
ain't getting
you
up
keep
nowhere.
saying give Patrick Ewing a job. He's not head coach.
He's not
material.
head coach material.
He's not head coach material.
He wasn't that great at Georgetown.
Right.
But if he
Listen.
interviewed and they liked what he was saying, instead of I think y'all should give me the ball, you know, you're in
Listen,
trouble.
I don't think he's
Look
head
for
coach
me.
material, bro. Not in the
Yeah.
pros.
I explained to y'all last week or 2 weeks ago that this dude might be out of here.
Who's that dude?
We all say that.
So
Everybody, you're
called
not
it-
the only
you was
one.
the only one
I
that called
explained
it.
to y'all. No, me and you talked about it.
I was calling for his head forever.
Y'all said-
for 4 years.
Y'all said
Do you think every time he says something like that's it? That's a statement. That's
Y'all-
bold.
y'all
Every time he
said
say something.
he just signed a 3-year contract. Me and Todd said that don't mean nothing.
I don't.
Okay.
All right. Trump just gave these dudes $500,000 and better tax write-offs or whatever. So now these cats don't even care about where they throw their money at. Because they know they getting write-offs and stuff like that. And like you
Right.
said,
Yeah.
like me and Sir just said,
Yo,
he just needs the seats
So,
filled.
and I got another call. Let me
And
let
the
me get it.
seats, the seats are filled.
And-
Yo,
every
do your
game.
thing, man, and you brothers be
You know what I'm
great,
saying?
man.
All
All right,
right,
and
All right,
safe,
great.
bro.
Be
later.
safe, bro.
I'll let y'all brothers, man. We talk soon, bro. Peace.
Yes, sir.
And the seats are
Hello.
filled every game.
All right.
Hey,
So
hey, everybody, how y'all doing, man?
All right.
Hey,
What's up?
What's
this
up,
been going
John?
For a while.
True.
Revolving
So
door.
they-
Hey,
they
hey,
got-
listen,
Yes,
listen, you know what?
Got this.
The thing is that
Not me and you.
the Knicks fans better hope that this move works, because if they don't get as far as they got this year or farther, they'll say, you fired them for this?
I disagree. Because now say you again, what Coach Kurt always say is players play and coaches coach. So it
Right.
wasn't 100% his fault, but like in the waning moments of certain games, it was certain situations he could have possibly combated.
Thank you.
But the players,
But
actually- wait a
here's
minute.
but it comes
Hold
down
on,
to the
hold on,
simple
John.
thing, Dave.
hold on, John, but this is the part. So they shouldn't, they might need, like Todd said earlier, they need extra players, extra pieces.
Thank you.
They might move Cat. You never know, because he ran down the court with 2 left feet
Yeah.
or
Well,
2
you see,
right
the thing
feet.
is,
Whatever he
you
was
know-
doing, Siakam was still beating him.
Cement
And that
shoes.
that tape
Yeah.
keep playing in my
and that
head.
shouldn't have happened.
So
That-
like they not just gonna keep
They
the
never
team
learned
the
in that
same.
whole series to watch the man
So-
making out.
How could you say
Right.
that if we get a new coach and you get new players, they might change players? So the team not going to be the same.
That's gonna be. some
It's not,
changes.
it's not but the thing, but people are still going to compare it to this team, and you know how Knicks fans are.
No,
So
bro,
the
no.
thing is
I am a Knicks fan, and I
So am I.
realized that they wasn't ready to. They could have competed for the championship, but did you really think they was going to win it?
No, because
Well, so at least we be
I predict they would get
So
to
you're
the
saying-
Eastern Conference semifinals this year, just like they did last year.
Mhm.
I said they're not good enough to get past Boston and Cleveland.
But
The way they
those
played
are
this
the
year.
two wound up
But
not being
They
able
got
to win.
past Boston,
Right.
and then
By
late in the
accident.
season when
I think
Cleveland
they would
faltered,
beat them anyway.
I actually
I really
predicted that
thought
neither
they would beat
OKC
them.
or
But
Cleveland would
they
make the
didn't get
finals.
upstairs.
I was wrong, but the thing is because OKC is in there, and I think they'll win in 6.
Okay.
Now,
So-
but the one thing, but you see the thing now, Dave, to your point where you said that they beat up Brunson and stuff, Indiana did. You see, that was all part of the plan. They said, make somebody else beat
Exactly.
us other than
That's
Jalen
coaching.
Brunson.
That's
Yeah.
coaching.
Right.
That's what coaching comes in.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
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 You know,
I can't
so,
argue with
but
that.
you see, but Todd, I'm going to say this one simple thing. Tip started this business with the eight-man rotation 3 years ago. There was one game, a home game against Dallas. Dallas came in and embarrassed them, and they used 10 players.
Mhm.
Next night, the back end of a back-to-back, Cleveland came in. He shortened the rotation to 8 and blew Cleveland away.
And he stuck
He
with
says
it.
this works, and it works since the man has won about 150 games using that.
Yeah.
So he feels the system works.
Yeah.
So he's going to stick to it. But the problem is that, like you guys said, the thing is that folks like that are they're going to be less able to get jobs in the NBA because they want people want stuff new and innovative and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you got.
But I do have one place where he can one job he can get to is once he finishes making that $30 million from the Knicks. Have you heard about the GM of the NIL money in college and stuff?
Yeah.
They just.
Yeah, man, big name coaches are signing up for those jobs all over the place because they're gonna be making bucks handing out money to college players.
Yeah.
That's where the older coaches are going to start going.
I hear that.
Well,
I can see that.
Well, if you cut out
makes
for the
sense.
college life, but like maybe.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't. Basically, he's not going to be coaching the team. He's just going to be giving out the money.
Right. He ain't coaching.
Yeah.
All
He's
he's
just
doing
dealing,
is
being an administrator.
right.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing.
Yeah. And I think he's smart enough to give somebody a check. He's like, oh,
No doubt.
I hear you.
But Dave, get back to what you said about the Knicks fans. You honestly think Knicks fans don't expect to be better next year than this year?
Listen, there are 3 teams. There are the 3 most delusional sports fans in America are the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees, and the New York Knicks.
Don't talk about my Dallas Cowboys.
You like that?
Listen. Dallas Cowboys call themselves America's team. The way they played the last 30 years, America should file for divorce.
So
That is true.
I can't. You say if they go after Kevin Durant, and a lot of us would probably say, I don't think that they need to go after Durant because he's older.
I've heard that from a lot of fans, but
if they made that move and had to give up something of significance,
and is it worth giving up at his age?
So on the other hand, if they don't do any moves and they keep that same exact team, but you just change the coach, you don't expect that coach to make a difference enough to get you to where you're supposed to be at?
Nope. No, they have.
I agree with you, sir. That's why I said in my first statement, fans are going
to make moves, but still.
No, Serge is right.
The
Knicks,
right.
You got to add a piece.
Coach that got you to the conference finals. You expect the next guy to take
get
a step
you over?
back?
No, you can't do that.
No,
you can't do that.
It's hard. No,
the Knicks fans, everybody in this city is starving for a championship.
Exactly.
They're starving for a championship. Yes, and they're waiting to be taken. The next whoever comes, I'm talking about the Knicks.
If you think about the bench, they have 1 year. They got 1 year contract, so you still got your team's gonna be different one way up.
Yeah. But the main core of that team is gonna be the same team.
I'll sum it up like this. What would you rather have? Pancakes in a diner that's fluffy, or the one that comes out of the microwave?
They might do it.
Say that again, John.
I said, what would you rather have? Pancakes from a diner where they're nice and fluffy, or one that comes out of a microwave?
Oh, you already know you want that diner.
Hey, and you see, but it takes time. Yeah. And the thing is, Knicks fans don't understand that. And I told people, I said, listen, since I was there, and the thing is that it took the Knicks 6 years to build that championship team in the 70s.
Yes.
And because the thing is that believe it or not, there were only five players on those 2 teams that were acquired by a trade.
Right. What, DeBusschere?
Monroe, Jerry Lucas.
Right.
Big Barnett and Nate Bowman.
Yeah,
especially
those were great pieces.
DeBusschere was a real big piece.
Yeah, he was.
Over the top.
But they needed another rebounder.
It was a big thing. They needed that.
Yeah.
They traded Bellamy for him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody else on that team was drafted.
Right.
Yeah, they were drafted, no doubt. But see, this is a different time. You can't even compare.
You can't do that anymore because
you can't compare.
Quick, fast, and hurt.
Yeah, you can't compare.
But see, John, like you said, It took him 6 years. It's been 53 years.
Right.
That's why Knicks fans are so desperate.
Yeah.
And I could honestly understand that as a Jet fan. because
Exactly.
It's been over 7 years.
Listen, the Jets that me too.
We all in that boat. Except for Mungo.
Listen, the Jets won their only Super Bowl when I was 13 years old. Come on, man.
Nobody wants to wait 50 more years for a championship.
No,
Right.
not at all. We won't be here.
And the thing is that it's just the thing is that I do hope the Knicks do win a title because I want to do like the Ranger fans did in '94. Somebody brought a banner into the Gardens for the 7th game and says, "Now I can die happy."
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that. Man.
Exactly.
And there's a whole.
As a matter of fact, they made T-shirts from that.
Well,
Knicks
so,
and Jet fans are both in that same boat.
so
Exactly.
again, so like when Serge asked me that, the onus is not on me. The person that would be on the radar would be Leon Rose because
See,
he got to make.
See, that's Dave's whole thing. Now
Yeah.
he wants to fire Leon
There
Rose.
you
So
go.
now here we go.
There you go.
This is-
So
Well,
that is, you know,
I
I got
Right.
And to be honest with you, Leon Rose has made a good deal. The thing is
he's tied for that too,
because
because
GMs
he made
have sucked.
To me, that's the dumbest thing what he did. Train for a guy who's not an all-star, never made all-star team. You gave up 5 first-round picks. That's horrible.
We got to look at.
That's
Okay,
horrible.
but look at it
That's
this
horrible.
way. Those kids who are going to be those draft picks, they're in junior high school now. The thing is, if the Knicks stay relevant until 2031 when that last pick is selected, the thing is that's going to be a high 20s pick.
Yeah, but that ain't even
The
the
thing-
point. That's not even the point. You locked yourself in for making other moves because you gave up all those. You could have gave up 2, and you could have still had 3, and you could have did other moves. By giving away 5 right now, you don't have so many moves to make now.
But magnificent.
What's funny, the thing is that Joe Tsai is basically outside Jim Dolan a couple of times.
And I
Not only
told
with
this-
that,
well, hold on
he
one second.
when Jim Dolan sold the New York Liberty, the Liberty won a title.
And I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
What team is gonna give the Knicks 5 picks for Bridges?
Nobody.
Nobody.
But see, that's what I was
The
gonna say.
Harlem Globetrotters.
like what
You forgot my name.
yeah, I forgot your name. Just that.
That's the Geico commercial, man.
Yo, Tom,
Just like what Tom said.
Yeah.
Just like what Tom said. I'm looking down at him too.
Yo, unbelievable.
Okay.
Yo,
But you know,
Just like Tom.
but I'm gonna let other people call in, but on a slightly different direction. Rest in peace, Sly Stone.
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
Rest in
Yo,
peace.
remember
Yes,
your
sir.
mofo, yo.
Yo, save
I
that
agree.
piece. Save that piece on the
Yeah.
on the-
But just like Todd said,
All right. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, good.
Todd,
Listen, y'all take care, and I'll call y'all again next week.
All right, John. Thanks a lot.
Okay, have a good week, guys.
All
All right.
right.
it's like you said, you give up 5 for Bridges, right?
Right.
And then now you want to give up 2 for Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody much better,
Right.
but you done gave up 5 for this
Right.
guy.
You
think
set
we
the
gonna-
ball. You messed
Right.
up the ball
You think
like
we
that.
gonna
Yeah.
take
So-
2 now?
So when I said that, and you know, Serge and tennis went up and whatnot, but is he really doing a great job?
Who?
Rose.
Rose?
Yeah, is he?
It got to the
That
conference
not by what he did.
Is
He
really
will be forever remembered for those 5 first-round picks.
Yeah, that's-
He's gonna be forever remembered for that. For doing that.
Only if those picks come out real good. If those
Or-
picks don't come out, then nobody's going to remember that.
See, it's not even so much as that. Like I just said
Right.
about those picks, it just tied you from making other moves now.
That does, yeah.
Yeah,
it
you
does,
know what I'm
it
saying?
does-
That's my
it
thing.
does
I don't
strangle
care
you.
what the
Right.
picks whoever
Right.
got
again-
was draft, but it's gonna
again-
tie you
Yeah,
from
it
making
does.
other moves.
But again, so you could go out and you could sign other people to 1-year contracts and be creative, and then you have to go out and get a coach.
Well,
So
then you got to be creative.
So
like
you
said.
got to be creative
Mm.
with that. But could I hold somebody to a standard such as what Thibodeau might have laid the foundation? But again, if they ask you to do something and you were stubborn about it, so you like, are you like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna force it on his hand.
Let me ask you this. When Brunson wasn't playing and Mikal Bridges and OG was shining, was people complaining about Mikal Bridges then?
No.
Nope.
It was only when Brunson was bouncing the ball 100 times, not giving Mikal Bridges no kind of run, that people were saying that this guy wasn't helping. But yet in the Boston series, he won you the first 2 games on defensive plays at the end of the game.
I thought you was watching the Yankees then when they was not doing it.
You know what?
No.
You know what? I saw Mikal and I realized, oh, he's still wearing his net uniform because he's playing
snap.
That's why he made those plays. As far as the Knicks fans are concerned, he stinks. But he doesn't stink. He's a player that people give him credit for, but he's just not getting the run the way he should be because of Brunson. That's
Serge, just admit that you was watching the game. We understand. It's all right.
I saw the highlights.
He ain't gonna admit.
They don't play those highlights.
Just admit it, Serge. It's okay.
No. But he's 100% right because when Brunson wasn't playing, that ball was flowing. When he get in that ball, when he get in that game, and he was shot, and when he get in that game, when he come back in the game, yo, the ball gets stuck.
And even that game where he wasn't scoring, and then all of a sudden he has like 15 points in the fourth quarter to win the game for them.
The offense got stagnated when he came back in, and I agree with that. And that was part of Tibbs' demise. So I agree.
My only point is that Bridges ain't as bad a player as.
No, he's not bad.
No, he's not 5 picks, but
he's not a bad player.
But they don't run plays for him.
Right, they don't run plays for him. And he, when he was at Phoenix and even with the Nets, you could see he has star potential. But it's just that on that team, there's so much talent that he doesn't get to shine the way that he should.
Well, let's pay attention. How many of us, like we was in here and we was talking, I don't believe we was jumping on Bridges. I mean,
no, not jumping. A lot of Knicks fans are.
I think a lot of Knicks fans are. What's that word you use?
And it's because of the 5 picks.
Right. It's definitely because
of the 5 picks. Because, like you said, if it was 2 picks, they would not complain.
No.
But 5 picks is what makes it look bad.
That's what you hear every time. Every argument is what you hear. The 5 picks come up every time.
I believe that.
And I'm with Coach. It depends on what those picks look like. If those picks in the 20th round, the 20th pick becomes
unprotected.
One is protected. One is protected.
One is
just
protected.
one.
But how far can you protect? You can't protect it past 10.
And number 2.
Right.
You can't
4
protect
number
it
ones
past
and a
10.
2.
Right.
No, 5 number ones and a 2.
The fix,
I'm positive. 6
one is
picks.
protected.
It's 6
Yes,
picks.
but protected to what number?
5 number
It's
ones
5.
in the second round.
It
And the
ain't
second
the
round.
first,
It was 6 picks.
5 and a second.
Yes, it was 6
And
picks total.
Bogdanovich.
Yes, it was 6
He's
picks
still in
total,
street
bro.
clothes in Brooklyn.
5 and a second.
He never put on the
That's a
uniform.
lot, bro.
I don't care where the numbers are.
That's a
So,
lot.
what do y'all think about Michael Malone being the coach?
He's an old timer too, and he's kind of stubborn. Well, look,
Well, he's from New York.
I know.
He's from here.
Queens.
Yeah, he's from New York.
I heard he
And he
was
he gonna be knocking on your door, Dave.
No.
And he gonna be knocking
I think
on
he
your door.
gonna
Said put in a good word for him.
I think
Cause he know you got. Cause he know you got juice. He know you got juice. He gonna tell you to put a word in.
Yeah, he said Dave know people, so so.
The Knicks acquired Mikal Bridges from the Nets in a trade that sent a significant amount of draft picks
Just
and
give
players
us
to
the
the
numbers,
Nets.
bro.
The Knicks sent both Bogdanovich, 4 unprotected first-round picks, a protected first-round pick via the
5
Bucks,
first
But,
round.
a pick
but
swap,
that's for this year.
A pick
25,
swap.
2025,
top
2027.
2025 protected first round pick via the Bucks. Top 4. The Bucks pick is in the top 4 pick. So that pick's not protected. That's this year. So we got that pick.
So let me understand something because
It's turned into number 8 pick, right?
Because
it's
Surge
a 20-something.
beef
Whatever the Bucks
and Mongo
Okay.
beef is more like their picks. What they
Well, we decided
so much
we
what
don't
gave
want
up.
we don't want right. We don't
But it
want,
was
we
fun.
might not want the same players.
Right. So
Me and
I said
They're
so
not consulting you really. You.
I'm talking about me and Serge.
I know they're really not.
Well, they ain't got to
consulting you.
consult me. I'm telling you right now, I want a point guard.
Serge
Straight up.
don't even want to talk to you.
Serge, what you want first pick?
Very first pick?
Yeah.
Honestly and truthfully,
Uh-huh.
the very first with the 8th pick,
Yes.
I want the big kid from Duke.
So that's 2 different
That's
things, man.
Queen?
See?
Oh, the other
No,
dude.
the
The
big-
other dude.
the
The African guy.
I want the 7-footer.
Okay.
We're not gonna get him.
So then you're gonna trade.
Well, if you know we ain't
Yeah,
getting
and
so
then
you
we
want
could
him.
know.
trade-
You want
Yeah.
him. Okay,
then we could
okay.
trade Nick Claxton to the
To
Lakers
Lakers.
for whatever we could get from the Lakers.
Right.
Maybe Austin Reeves and another pick or whatever.
Oh my goodness!
I don't have a problem with that.
That's a good move.
He still wants
That's
his
a
Orphan Reeves. He been talking.
I
Yeah.
want that dude.
I don't like Austin
You
Reeves,
want
but I
who?
would
Austin
take
I
Reeves?
take Austin Reeves.
You
I would
ain't
take
never
it.
mentioned Austin Reeves in your life. Never.
Anytime,
Because he mentioned it before.
anytime we
You
talk
ain't
about,
mentioned
No,
Austin
I
Reeves.
got that from Mungo, so I'm
Oh,
gonna.
you did?
anytime we
I'm
talk
gonna give
G
him credit.
League
I got
players,
that.
thank you, sir. Anytime we get talk about them G League players,
Right.
I'm talking about
You, was,
Caruso.
you wasn't talking about
Reeves.
Austin Reeves in the
No,
G
he
League.
really wasn't. But
I know
I
he
gotta
wasn't.
make him feel
Right.
good because
I-
he can't even remember Todd's name. So I'm
Anyway.
losing Mungo, so I gotta
Hey,
get
don't
him back.
rub me. Don't rub me. Anyway.
You want me to punch you instead?
Anyway.
Anyway,
Could
I
you-
want a point
Could
guard,
you read?
first pick,
Could you
first
read D
round pick.
Nice's message?
First
Yeah,
pick,
we got
top
4
pick.
more picks
Could
for
you
that.
read the message D Nice said?
What's that?
He said, "Tell
So
Mongo
sick
to
of
tell him to take off that shirt. No free advertising."
He's stupid.
Yo, D, that's a good one.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
can you tell me the guy on your left name?
On my left name.
The guy on your left. His name.
Oh,
He was
my
giving,
ex TO.
Oh,
He
XT.
gonna
Yeah,
have
my
nightmares. He gonna have
ex-TO.
nightmares
I
about
saved
me
him.
tonight.
I saved him many a day.
Yeah, okay.
You pulled the cord on him, huh?
Yeah, okay.
Save him.
Yo, Mongo, you got me. I got you, kid. Yeah, RCC, come in.
Hey, come in, sir. Speak your piece.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not, but that's what I want. I want a point guard, and then we work from there.
Okay.
I want $1 million.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. First of all, on how I feel about Tibbs getting fired, I don't think he should have got fired. I think they should have gave him 1 more year.
Okay.
See, now the thing about the Knicks fan, right? They were all happy that we even got further than we ever got in the longest. He is a part of the reason why we got this far. So now you got people ready to give up. But everybody keeps saying it take 4, 5, 6 years to make a good team. So let's give them an extra year. But when we give them the extra year, we got to tell them, well, you got to change your style of coaching to make it work. We lost for 3 reasons towards Indiana. One reason was we was running an Indiana game. You know what I mean? We running fast pace. We
Their
running
pace,
with them.
yeah.
We
Mhm.
running with them.
Mhm.
That right there was a no-no. We got to play our game against their game. We don't run their game and do what they do. So that was number 1 right there. The other mistake was they really wasn't playing D like they should have been. Because there ain't no way that man should have made 8 threes in just 1 minute left in the court. Ain't no way that should have happened. We wasn't playing D like we were supposed to, right? And Tibbs he didn't look at the big picture of changing formats when it needed to be changed at the given point.
Let me ask you this question before you get to your next point.
Right.
Ain't that the assistant coach's job? To be in the coach's ear to let them know they on the court seeing what's going on out there, and you supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to call a timeout.
Do you
to get
have
in the
a
coach's.
strong assistant coach that can sit there?
That's
and-
what-
and
That's
you'll actually
what
listen
you
to
what I
call.
was gonna say.
Well, what
Like,
you
what
call
are
is
they
the
doing?
lead. Brunson is the lead assistant on that team.
Right.
Rick Brunson's
Right, that's his job.
Well,
He's
he
the
didn't
lead
even
assistant.
He wasn't no lead assistant nowhere else.
Yeah, but he's for the Knicks. But that's what I'm
He
saying.
got that job because
so-
of his son.
No, I get it, but I'm saying you got to blame that. What's those assistant coaches sitting down there for?
Getting paid.
Like you said, the second row don't say
Right.
nothing anyway. But you got those guys on the first row. What
But
are they
it's funny.
doing?
The guys in the second row.
The second row-
That's been in the league a long time.
wait,
Right.
the second row is doing the video, the challenges. They're
Right.
making
So,
sure.
but to me, that's the key. It's a communication gap somewhere,
Right.
man.
That's true.
Absolutely.
It's a
Yeah.
communication
What
gap
was the
somewhere.
next point, sir?
And the next point, you see the way OKC shut down their running game.
Yeah.
They shut down Indiana's running game. They damn near crippled them
Right.
this second game when they figured out, all right, this is how they doing it. This is what we're going to do. You play hard defense on
It's
him.
like they got 8 guys on the court.
But
Right,
see that was going to be my point as far as that's
I
concerned.
swear, with that game
OKC
yesterday was so
has
boring.
8 guys that play
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
The Knicks don't have 8 guys
No.
that play defense.
No.
Brunson and Cat are both liabilities.
Yeah.
Neither one of them is a defensive player.
No.
You got 3 other guys that play D, Mikael Bridges, OG, and Hart. And the other 2 are just standing out there hoping that they help.
Getting
And that's
abused.
Yeah.
They get abused.
Yeah, he did.
They get abused. You don't have that OKC. Everybody at OKC locked down. Everybody.
I agree
That's a
with
big
that.
That's why they
difference.
got
That's a
68
big
wins,
difference.
and that's why they
Exactly.
favored to win.
Exactly, because of that defense. It ain't the offense so much, it's that
Right.
defense.
Yeah.
Because they lock
Excuse
people
me.
down.
But this is the crazy part, though. Wasn't Tibbs supposed to be a defensive guru?
coming in.
You still
Yeah,
gotta
but
have
you
the
gotta have
player.
a player.
No, I
Right,
get no, but I get, but you,
Yeah.
but then,
Coach, you
but
gotta have
then,
players.
but then you got the guys on the bench who can help you out, and you're not using them.
for
That-
what you don't
I get
have.
what you said, but if you take those two guys out, you losing your firepower. Those two guys are your main firepower, and Indiana was picking.
Okay,
Right.
okay,
Oh, man.
They were
okay,
picking up on
okay,
him.
okay.
Okay.
So my
Don't
point
play-
is
don't
no,
tap him up.
no,
Yeah,
no, it's all right. So then I'm going to. So my point is answered. You answered my point for me.
That's why he had to go.
Indiana's a better team.
And that's why he had to go.
You answered my point. Indiana's a better team. But he's not saying. You answered my question. Indiana's a better team.
But
That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Yo,
But
yo,
like-
I'm gonna say this. You're right. They was better in playing team ball,
right,
but they didn't have better players than the
no,
Knicks.
that's true.
And what was going on was some of the Knicks players was not playing D, right?
Right.
Well, saying
And-
Cat and Brunson.
Right.
Yeah,
Brunson.
yeah. So now
It's
here's
not
the
some,
other thing.
it's them two.
Here's the other thing. When the Knicks came in, Indiana pulled their card. They said, "All right, yo, we got."
They
two
seen
best-
their weaknesses
Yeah,
and they
said, "We got
attacked
the
their
two best
weaknesses.
players.
That's what they
Yeah,
did.
we're gonna put the pressure on them, right? When he was forced to play the bench because they got fouled out or they was in foul trouble, they didn't know who to go after. They was completely disoriented because now they didn't know. All right, who's the star player? That's what he should have been doing. He should have been
From game one.
from game one.
That's right.
He should have been switching up on them.
From game
Like,
one.
yo, we're not gonna let you figure out who's the weak link here. Yo, everybody's gonna be able to play.
But
he
I
wasn't doing that.
All right, to that point, I don't think that stuff came into play until game 2 on. Game 1, they had a 15 to 17 point lead
Right.
in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Right now, the Knicks started making mistakes. They started making some shots. That kid went crazy because he didn't go crazy anymore after that game.
No, he didn't.
Right. So now everything felt right for them. They made baskets. Knicks didn't. Knicks turned the ball over. Knicks started slowing the game up and everything. And they came back. They won the game. He made a big shot.
That was the
Won
first,
the
that was
game.
the third game. That was
That changes a lot. Now,
Right.
game 2, they didn't.
Oh,
The
that's-
Knicks didn't respond
Right.
because the game was close, but they didn't really respond like I thought they was going to respond in that second game.
Which was important.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause they
exactly.
needed to
So
win
now,
that.
because you got to win that game.
Yeah.
They
Right.
didn't. They fell into a 0-2
2-0
hole, and then 3-4 game. They pressured Brunson coming up the court.
Right.
On the
Started beating him
offensive,
up.
right. On the
Right.
defensive end, they put them both in the pick and roll all
Right.
the time.
Right.
Cat backing up,
Right.
or you got Brunson
Stepping
coming up,
under,
right?
stepping back.
And they killed
you,
him.
You can't dismiss the leak outs. See, when you talk about the defense,
See,
you got to
Right,
remember
yeah.
that leak always
Down the
leaking
court.
out,
Right.
and nobody's catching them.
Well, yeah,
But-
with the
I give you one even worse than that, and I'll let you go. Worse than that, on a made basket, 2 passes they were getting layups.
True.
On a
Right.
made basket,
Right.
not even off a rebound.
Right.
On a
But that's
made
the leak
basket.
outs. That's what I'm talking about.
First
You know?
of all, Cat is too tall to stick Siakam. Siakam is a forward. Cat is a center.
But they put
Not
them in
really.
the pick and roll, Greg.
It's just
But
that his feet,
forget
his
this-
footwork
I'm not-
is messed up.
but
Right.
he still can't stick him. If he's guarding him, Cat is 7'2",
Right.
he's 6'8".
Right.
It's Cat is not 7'2".
No,
he's
he's
not
not.
that
No,
tall.
he's
But he's
7
up
foot.
there,
He's
though.
7 footer. 7
He's
footer.
a
7
7
foot.
Right.
If you, Dave, that's like
just saying.
you sticking me. It's over.
He got bad feet,
It's not
man.
over.
His feet
He
work.
got
is-
short arms.
Oh,
It's the
he's
same
looking-
thing.
Oh, no. Why you gonna do that? Why you gonna do that?
It doesn't matter. I got 6 pack. I use it. All right, now.
That's why I got a
Now,
torn
on top of
rotating
that-
cup.
Now, on top of that, if you think about it, so the series was lost in the first 2 games. So
Yeah,
that
Basically.
Yeah.
and that was part of his
Basically.
demise on why he got fired. Of course, after the owner was fed up with saying, well, this dude is not adhering to what we're saying,
Right.
and he was forced to use the bench, he come back with the bench in 4, 5, and 6, and didn't really use the bench properly. How much did he play at Chua? Which,
He should have been
None.
playing.
right?
None.
How do you play a
all
guy
these things
and
we
All
could-
season.
all
not
these
even
things we could start,
last year in the playoffs? He played
rolling
the
out
whole
and
playoffs
saying,
Right.
and don't use
And
him at
then-
all this
Right.
time.
and then
What did he
Towns
show you
was
last year
playing
that made
forward
you say,
in
I'm not-
And he
Minnesota,
played good.
and that's what
That's
they
what I'm
did.
saying.
And he played
They
good.
put Robinson and Towns in there. So,
Right, but
that
yeah,
was his
but he
man,
played
so
good,
somebody
Serge.
gotta
He
pick
played
him up.
good.
Once you see that,
And
he
I
can
would have
play,
fouled you 5
And
And
more
then you
times.
don't use him at all.
Yeah.
and he played the regular season.
I
That was
understand
that was part of it. It
Come
was,
on.
but I get back to where coach. when you got your two best players on your team not playing defense, that's gonna hurt you no matter
It
how
is.
great a defense
It
coach
is.
you are.
It is.
Because if you don't have your best players able to play defense, then you had a big liability. Because you, like Coach said, you lose your firepower because you need Jalen and you need, Towns
Right.
to score on the offensive end. If you take them out because their defense is
Now
bad, now you're not going to
this
score
is-
enough, and you're
right.
still going to lose the game.
But
because
this
you
is
don't have
but
the
this is
offense.
where you got to make. This is where you make your adjustment.
Right.
You never take them out
At the
together
same
at the
time.
same time.
Same
You
time.
always keep one in
Stagger.
and put somebody right.
Right.
That's what you got to do.
Right.
And he didn't do that.
No, I mean,
And he didn't do that.
he made mistakes. Don't get me wrong.
It's hard to do that when they're your top two stars. How many teams stagnate their top two stars like that? Honestly,
No, but I'm saying when you know
Both
their
of them-
defensive liabilities,
I get
you
that.
got to
Right.
do that.
You
But see-
still got these guys for a reason. They're your all stars. They're,
Mhm.
Right,
they're
right.
your first.
That's what
and
got
third
you
team.
But that's why you got
They're your
Precious.
second and third team All NBA players.
Right. But that's why you
They're
got
not
Precious. You
just
got
all-stars,
Shammy.
They're all NBA guys.
You got guys that it's obvious they missed Devo and all them other cats from the year before. That's obvious.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying?
For
But
sure.
you still have to give the cats that can play. These guys got a playoff experience. Shamit and Precious, they got playoff experience. You know they can play. You got to bring them in. From game one, they got to be
I
in.
just don't like the fact, like you said, I don't know why this guy didn't get no play. The guy Precious. He
Now,
should have got
that
way
was
more
a dumb
time.
move on him.
He should have got
Yeah.
more
Played
time.
Precious
Yeah.
more.
He should have got
And
more
that,
time.
that would have freed up.
That might have helped, but I mean,
I'm saying, look,
They-
because
they-
once you got
they-
the game 6, they was really putting it on Brunson.
Maybe Precious.
Once they got the game 6,
Maybe
he wasn't
Precious
getting no-
exit
he wasn't
interview
getting no
didn't help
free
him none
shots.
neither. Oh,
I don't think he's going to be there next year.
they might not even discuss it with Precious. They say you don't get off the bench. You
Well, he
don't
had
get
a 1
interview.
year.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Out
He had a
anyway.
He's a
1
free
year,
agent.
Shamit had a 1 year, Payne had a 1 year, so that's 3 players right there.
Wright had a
You
1
know.
year too. I don't think Wright will
So
be back
you know
either.
you got to beef up
Four
your
guys.
bench.
Right.
Yeah. He
All
signed
four
on-
of them.
Right, because he came on like toward the middle of the year.
But what's the use of beefing the bench up if you come in the playoffs and then you still not playing?
Well,
you
we're
beefing
gonna
them
have
up
a
for
different.
play.
we're gonna
Right,
have a
I
different coach
understand. I'm
now.
just saying.
So
Right.
and
Hopefully that
it
coach
comes
is
down
doing.
to fresh legs and depending on who interview again.
I
So-
still feel like when they lost DiVincenzo, and I keep bringing this guy in.
Yeah, Devo.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they couldn't keep what's his name, who came in to play with them last year when all them guys are hurt, was making the shots. I think
Burke?
he played with my Bird.
Oh,
I don't know
but-
why you couldn't keep that guy. He
I
played
don't-
good for you.
Yeah,
Why you couldn't keep him?
maybe he wanted more money. Where did he
think
go?
so?
Right, he went.
Miami.
He signed for more money.
He signed
Miami.
for yeah.
He signed a 3-year
Yeah.
with them.
He
They,
did.
wouldn't-
Okay.
they don't
3
want-
years
they
with
don't- I
them?
think it was
Really?
3
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
Yes,
good
they
catch.
was- They don't want to. They don't want to go keep him for 3 years. They didn't think enough of him to give him that kind of contract.
And he played good for you, man.
He
would've
played
kept-
good for
They
them.
would have kept Hardesty if they could afford it, but
Right.
they couldn't afford it, so they lost him. And then DiVincenzo they lost in the trade because they went and got
Casualty
catch.
of
Right.
war.
So I mean, that's just how that goes. But still, certain guys
So,
they just didn't think enough
we-
of them to give him a 3-year
We asked
contract.
this. You wasn't here, sir, this last week. We asked this. You think they should have kept everything in place and ran it back one more time instead of making those
It's an
trades?
easier decision. It's an easier answer now.
No, well,
Mhm.
no, it's not. Not back then. It wasn't.
Yeah. They should have
Well, I
ran
know
it
this
back.
is Monday morning court, but we was
Right, it's Monday morning.
Right,
Right.
it's Monday
but we
morning quarterback.
was talking. Remember last week we
Yeah.
discussed that.
Well, what was his answer? Because I didn't get.
No, I said keep them last year.
They should have ran it back with the same team.
Keep them. Keep them. I didn't know. They didn't
It's
make
hard
no
to
sense to
say
break them up. And
because all those
these
guys
guys
got
are ready
hurt.
together.
Randall was a free agent.
Right.
No, he wasn't a free agent.
And the problem with Randall was that his playoff is like Aaron Judge playoff.
Right.
He doesn't show up the way that you would expect.
Good
Karl
season,
Anthony Towns to show up.
Playoff.
So that kind of was a factor in not
Yep.
keeping that team together. Plus the fact that he was one of the guys that was injury prone too, because he got hurt a couple of times in the playoffs too.
And I give
So
you
that is
right.
part of the reason why they didn't keep that together.
And-
Would it have worked better had they kept it together? There's no telling, because they might not have beat Boston if that was the case. You never know, because things change depending on who you playing with, who you're not
True.
playing with.
Matchup-
Just like
matchup is
matchups
everything.
make everything.
And I'm gonna give you
So-
another thing. Why they made that move? They had no center.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. We
Robinson
know.
was hurt.
Right.
And Hardesty was gone.
Hardesty was gone. They made that
They
move.
didn't have
They
no
had
choice.
to.
They,
Yeah.
they had
They
to
had
make
no
that
choice.
move and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, they had no
That's
choice.
a good point. So let's
Real
wrap
good
it up
point.
with that, and let's move on to the championship series for a second, and then let's talk a little bit about some baseball and what's going on.
Mhm.
So now it's 1-1. Do y'all feel that the complexion of the series is going to shift any? Could Indiana get another game going into Indiana, or is it going to be that OKC figured them out and they're just going to beat the brakes off them?
I felt going into the series, I said there was going to be a sweep. My family was all jumping on me after game one. They was jumping on me,
I said them in 5.
you know. But
I said one game.
I thought they could have swept them. I think after last night, it's going to be very interesting. They're going back to Indiana.
Mhm.
Indiana better at least win one game.
They better win that
No,
first
they
game.
better win the first
Yeah,
They
game.
better win that first
yeah,
game.
they
have to
better
win
because
game
If
three.
they
they
lose
don't-
game
they lose
3,
that,
it's
I think
over in
it's
5.
done. I
They
think
they
it's
lose
done.
in 4 straight.
Because I don't think what's going to mess around after watching him yesterday, his face, SGA, he don't look like he's playing with these guys no more.
Yo,
You know, after that first game got away from him, he was tight. He was tight. And I think he's out for blood.
Yeah.
He's out for blood. I tell you. So,
Yeah,
like you said, you're right. They better get that first one, the
Mhm.
third one. They better get it. Because if they don't, I don't think they'll win another game.
And I don't believe it's just SGA. I think that whole team was upset that they let that lead go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not who they are.
Right.
You don't win 68 games during the season by blowing 17-point leads.
True.
No.
True.
No.
They don't, and they're not that kind of team that does that.
Mhm.
No.
Plus, they're not the kind of team like Boston that's going to shoot themselves
No.
out of a game.
Right.
well, they don't shoot a lot of 3-point.
No,
Right.
no,
They
not
don't
like
shoot the
that.
threes like that.
They go to
So
the
you're
basket.
not going to beat a
Mm.
team like that
Right.
again if you let
That
them
way.
bet you that way, like they did yesterday. They got
Yeah.
that 20-point lead at
Right.
the half. Everybody knew the game was over.
Yeah.
They wasn't going to lose that game again
Yeah. No.
because they're going to lay you up. They're going to mid-range you.
Mhm.
They're going to dunk. They're not going to shoot the three. They shoot them when they open,
Right.
but they don't shoot them because they want to.
Right.
Right.
They're
That's
not
not their
volume
game.
shooters on that.
Mhm.
Right. That's not their game.
Right.
Thank God.
Now the only
Yes,
thing,
thank God.
right? I agree with you. Everything you said. The one thing Indiana might have going for them, they're going home.
Right.
Role players play better at home, as they always say. So, like you said, they have to win game 3.
Right.
You don't win game 3, as everybody else pretty much say,
It's over.
agree with. The series probably over if you don't
Well,
win game
this
3.
is crazy too. Watching that game yesterday, and I was turned like by halftime. I was done with it.
I ain't even see it.
But
You
it was blew out from beginning
Yeah.
to
Watch it.
it. But yo, this guy wasn't looking at the basket at all yesterday.
Who Halliburton.
In the
Halliburton.
first half.
Oh my God!
Second
It's
half.
like-
That can't
Came
be.
off a
See, you
little-
No,
can't
you
be
can- right.
You can't compare. Put him in that superstar because you.
I'm
didn't
not
have an
even. I'm
impact
not
in
even
that game
talking
at
about
all.
it. He's not a superstar. I would never say he's a superstar. He's a good player. But my thing
Well,
is,
that
it's
helps
not
too.
even that. But you got to look at the basket.
Be aggressive.
You got to be in the lane. You in the lane and you're passing it out.
Mhm.
You're not even making an attempt to score. You did it the fourth quarter.
Right.
He made, but the game was over by then.
Yes.
But how you playing the first half and you driving to the basket
Mhm.
and you passing the ball back out? You're not even looking to shoot. It's like, come on, man. That's crazy.
That's part of it.
It's not a
you gotta
shutdown
be
if you.
aggressive.
It's not a shutdown if you're not taking a shot.
You're not
Right.
being aggressive.
He's not being
If you
aggressive.
help
He's shutting.
him-
He's shutting
Right,
himself
you shut
down
yourself down.
because you're not even looking to
You
shoot.
gotta shoot.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got
gotta
to. You
be
got to
a
shoot
threat.
the ball.
He was scared to come in. He was scared to come in that circle. That's why he was always shooting on the outside, even further than he used to shoot. They was shutting
You
him
can't.
down.
You
They had
can't.
him scared. They
I-
was taking
you-
the ball. Every
see,
time he turned around, they was
I
taking
can't
the ball.
accept that. You can't. You don't get to the championship and say you playing scared.
No.
You can't. I can't accept that.
Me
You're
either.
not playing scared. It's just that I don't know why you wasn't being aggressive. You got to be aggressive. You can't get in the lane and you don't take the shot. You kicking that ball. I don't like that brand of basketball anyway. And that's what a lot of these guys do. They doing that. You drive into the basket and you kicking it out. I don't know where y'all
And,
get that
and
from.
then the person is
You know?
coming back into the paint.
Right.
Mhm.
So
To do the same
right.
thing again.
Right.
So
Shoot it.
I don't get it.
Sometimes.
You anything from the foul line in, that ball go up,
You
bro.
got to.
The ball go up.
And he
Foul
can
line
make
in.
those shots. He
Yeah.
makes those shots on the
But he
regular.
wasn't even
Regular.
looking. It's like
Yeah.
even the announcers were saying, everybody was like, yo, this guy's not, like you said, you're not being aggressive at all. And everybody know that team goes as he goes.
Yes.
So if you take yourself out the game, you ain't giving your team no shot. No shot. So
I do
No.
think too they were being more physical with Siakam
Yeah.
too.
yeah. Yeah.
I do think.
They a funny team because A couple of times I was watching like Indiana think they go on the ball, they got the ball, they dribble, go in the basket. Next thing you know, you see OKC going the other way. The guy's dribbling and the ball ain't even coming back with him. They taking the ball and gone. Yo, that is crazy. I've seen that so much time.
And that's my point again. That's everybody on the team.
Everybody on their team.
It's not just
They
one
do.
guy
Nope.
doing that.
Everybody on their team doing that, bro. That is so crazy. I've never seen so many times a guy dribbling the ball and he's dribbling air now.
I got a question for you guys, because I wasn't here the last 2 weeks, but why did Siakam get the conference finals MVP over Halliburton?
Why?
Who? What?
He was more consistent,
What'd you say?
scoring points wise.
He got the Eastern Conference Championship. He got the MVP.
He's talking about Siakam versus.
It was nine people voted. It was 5-4.
He won by one.
Yeah,
he won by 1
5-4.
point. But I feel, me myself, I was shocked.
He
I
was
didn't-
shocked.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah.
seen it.
Because
Right?
I was
when they
shocked.
getting ready to say,
I
he
think
was moving forward.
I think Whatchacom should have got it. Halliburton. I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't
Now,
understand that.
Whatchacom played good games,
He
but
did. He played 2 exceptional games,
Right.
but Halliburton played that whole series.
right.
He
I
had
don't know.
one game that they criticized him.
Right, one game
Right.
out of
He had
6.
the one game they criticized.
But there was a few games you could have criticized
Oh,
Siakam about too on
right.
those
Yeah.
games that he didn't play up to
Yeah.
that standard.
Well, Cat was destroying him too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A couple of them games, Cat destroyed them.
Cat down the court.
Yeah,
for
but that's how they do.
Right. The
You
league
know,
outs. That's
They
the
push
league
the
out
ball
that
up, yeah.
you score a basket on them,
They
and
out.
they right out.
They
They
right
take
out.
that ball in
Right.
2 passes. They laying it up.
Right.
So you ain't got no time to
They're
do
not
doing that.
now, are they?
No, that's
Right.
celebrating and all that
But see-
stuff. Like
Right.
catting them like to do.
Those
I'd
are
be
the
like,
adjustments the Knicks
what's
did,
all of
man.
that? You got to get back on defense,
You know what I'm
man. You know,
Yeah, they had to stop those
But
guys.
that's a good. That's
you
a
know,
good thing.
you say it's adjustments that they didn't make. When you don't play a certain style of basketball, it's kind of hard just to change your style right in the middle of the playoffs.
Right, but
That's not your
You
good.
can't, if it's not your nature to stop the fast break during the season, you're not going to, in the
Right.
middle
No.
of the playoffs, all of a sudden stop the fast break.
Right,
Got
but you
that
have,
right.
you have to be on alert, on guard of that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you
be
have
on
to
guard
make-
after you
you
get
have-
beaten a few times.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You have
They
to
just
make
a
those
faster
adjustments.
team than them.
And they were losing. So you
Well,
that,
you got to understand something. They're just a faster
that's
team
what they
than them.
are. Right.
They beating them with their legs, the passing their leg, because they out. Cat can't run up and down the court.
No.
Brunson is not a fast guy
Right.
getting up and down the
Right.
court either,
Mm-mm.
and OG is not either. They just beating them guys down the court.
Mhm.
So they played a bad style. So as opposed to OKC, who plays better defense,
Young legs too.
They got
Right.
young legs.
They all the
Yeah.
way around.
All the way
young.
around.
interchangeable parts
Yeah.
in and out the game.
That is an
Right.
organically
So-
built
And
team.
they
Yeah.
got 10 guys doing it.
Yeah.
Is that-
Right.
is that
Whoever they
make it
bring
for a
in
more
is gonna
exciting
play
Playing the
defense.
same way.
They might not score, but they're gonna play
Playing the
defense.
same way.
Does it make it for a more exciting series?
I don't know about excited.
Interchangeable
This
parts?
game, this series hasn't been exciting.
No.
The excitement was in that fourth quarter of the first game.
Yep.
That was the only.
That was
That
it.
was it.
But remember,
That
there's
was
only
it.
2 games in though.
It don't
Yeah,
matter.
but last game
Games
wasn't
in.
exciting.
Right.
Last
But
game
you-
was
but-
a snoozer game for
but-
me, really.
But
So that wasn't even a game. Was nothing to get excited about.
Mhm.
The first game was a blowout until the fourth quarter when they
Right.
came back.
Right.
The fourth quarter was the best part of that
Best
game.
part of the game.
right,
So-
but see, you have to see. For me, it was hard for me to turn off the game because of what the Pacers did throughout the playoffs.
Well, you
They've
know
been
they
in
can
them
always
situations.
come back.
Right.
Right, so it's
Right.
hard for me to shut it off.
Because it's just like I text you yesterday at halftime. I said the Pacers got them just where they want
Right.
them. They
Right.
were down 20 points.
Right.
Exactly.
And
You
that's
just said
exactly-
that. Yeah.
That's-
And they never made that
that's the
comeback.
way
They
can
never
play,
made it
but
come
they
back.
didn't
Never
make
came-
that-
made the
They
comeback.
didn't make
They
that
made
run
the
again.
comeback.
Right.
And against this team, they're not going to make that run again. Because I believe now, OKC, like you say, they're the kind of team that'll make the
Gotta pay
adjustment.
attention to
Right.
that leak
They
out.
know they're not going to get beat by that team
Right.
with a 17-point
Right.
lead again. It's just not going to happen.
No, they're not letting them do
All
that.
right, so
And
what?
the thing is, this whole playoffs has been about big comebacks on all the
Mhm.
every team.
Yeah.
The Knicks was doing it. The Pacers was doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody's been doing this big comeback thing, and that's what made the whole rest of the
Mhm.
playoffs so exciting. It's not going to happen in the finals because Oklahoma is just that much better than Indiana
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. They
All right,
are.
so
You're right.
Wednesday, Friday, Monday. So we got
Oh, they switched
2
it
more
up.
games.
Yeah, they giving them more
Right,
break.
it's Libre. Well, Wednesday to Friday is cool, but
right,
it should have
that's
been
the
a game
closest one.
Sunday, so we could have came in and talked about it.
Mhm.
When we come back next Monday,
Right.
we're waiting for game 5.
Right. Wednesday to Friday is the closest
Well, if it's-
between 2 games.
If it's 3-1 coming into Monday, it's not gonna make it to what we talk about because we don't know it's over. That meant that more than likely, if it's 3-1, Oklahoma won both games because I don't see OKC losing both games in Indiana. They might lose one, but I don't see them losing two. I think at worst it'll be 2-2 coming back.
That's
to
good
Oklahoma.
for Pacers.
At worst, right? It's good for the Pacers.
Yeah.
But it's
game 6.
It still
Right.
gives OKC home court advantage.
So
again.
they get it back. Yeah,
Right.
they stole it back.
So it'll be interesting.
All right, so we're gonna wrap that up. Coach Kirk got some trivia. So y'all ready? And we'll move on. So here we go, Coach.
Okay, we'll start off with some NBA. Name two NBA players that play for the Pacers and OKC that average 15 points a game.
Paul George.
Paul George is one.
Yeah, Paul George is.
Can you name the other?
They play for both Pacers and OKC.
He's a guard. He's a
Right.
guard.
And play and average 15 points a game. At least 15 points a game.
He's a guard. He's not playing the league no
Stop looking over there, Dave.
more.
Is he right?
He ain't say no name.
He said Paul
He said
George.
the
He
person's not
first
in the
one,
league
Paul
anymore. Is that correct?
Oh, you asking? Oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
on the Knicks G League team.
No, is
No, he is.
Oh something. I can't call his
George.
name.
You asking me or you telling me?
I'm telling you.
I'm talking to Kirk.
I'm trying to think of that guy. Was it?
You said he's not in the league anymore.
The guy's not in the league no
He's
more.
not playing anymore. Right.
Average 15 on the Pacers and OKC.
And OKC. You know Dave?
Yeah, I can't call his name.
Oh,
He the one that said that he wasn't playing no more. You didn't say it. That's what you said it afterwards.
Dave's right about the guard part.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I know who it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. He's an African guy. Oh,
I know who you talk about. He played with Miami. He messed up his knee.
yes.
I know who you talk about. Yeah.
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 Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
yeah.
with a V.
I can't think
Yes.
of his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a V.
Oladipo. or
There you go.
something.
Yeah, Oladipo.
Victor
Oladipo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was calling this person.
Go, Dave.
Come
All
on,
right.
I got 5 fouls to give. Come on.
There you go.
Good one, Dave.
Yeah. Okay.
Victor Oladipo.
Here's another question here. Name
Vic Smith. Yeah, no.
2 teams. Only NBA final with 2 teams from the same state. It's gonna be hard. 2 teams from the same state.
In the NBA Finals.
NBA finals, 2 teams from the same
Well, yeah.
Oh,
state.
they was battling each other.
He said,
It's
"What
over.
year?"
It's over.
He's got to be real old
It's
because you're
old.
talking East and
Must be-
West.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it
and
got to
that's-
be a Cali team, right?
it's over.
The Minneapolis Lakers and the St. Louis. No. Okay.
That's not the same city.
I know, but I was
Same
they was
state
close.
either.
They was close.
You said the same state?
Same state. I might as well get it because you know.
Yeah, the Rochester Royals, yeah.
Syracuse and
One is the
Knicks.
Knicks.
Oh my
Against
Syracuse and Knicks.
They
Nationals
just
and
Rochester.
Knicks.
It was Rochester.
Rochester.
Rochester Royals and the New York Knicks.
Right. It could have been Syracuse Nationals. but
Right. it could
Right, I
have.
said Nationals.
Oh
and
my
Knicks.
goodness. What
And
year
who's
was
the
that?
other one?
1947?
1940
40
something.
something, yeah.
48, 49?
Okay.
The other one?
3 teams.
Wait, who's
Oh,
the
who's
other
the
one
other one?
first?
Nationals.
Knicks. He said the
Nationals
Knicks.
and the
Knicks and
Knicks.
the Rochester
Oh, I
Royals.
thought
No,
you said it
Royals
happened
and the
twice.
Knicks. The Royals and the
Oh.
Knicks.
Oh, all right,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's why the Knicks ain't been back to championship playing in the city championship.
Okay. 3 teams played in the finals from the NBA and the ABA. Name them.
The
Nets.
Pacers.
Nets
Nets,
is one.
Nets,
Nets is one.
Pacers,
Oh,
The Spurs.
Pacers.
Spurs.
The Denver
He
Nuggets.
said Indiana. He said
The
oh,
Denver
and Denver
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets. There you go.
I thought the Spurs went in the ABA.
I
Nah,
thought the Knicks was in
Spurs,
the ABA.
Spurs
didn't
were, but
play
they
in the
weren't
final.
that good in
In the
there.
ABA, they didn't
They
play
didn't
the
play.
finals.
No,
No.
they weren't that
They
good.
did not. Okay.
That was good.
That was
Only
good.
player to score 60 points or more in an NBA final.
60?
60 or more in an NBA
Alvin
final.
Iverson.
No.
Michael
60.
Jordan.
Iverson scored 48, I believe, in the NBA final.
60 in a
Matter of fact, I
playoff
think it
game.
was game 1.
Yeah, it was.
You
And
said
they
a
lost
playoff game
and
or
he lost-
NBA Finals? You said?
Finals.
NBA
NBA Finals.
60 or more.
Just name all the high scoring.
Will Chamberlain.
I said Will Durant.
Say Kareem.
Nope.
Jerry West.
No.
Elgin Baylor.
There you go.
That was my
We
name.
was
And they-
warming
That was
up.
another.
Warming
That
up.
was another.
I think
19
Elgin is
that was
probably the least talked
1963.
about
Yes.
Hall of
Star.
Fame player.
That's the
Yeah.
1967 playoffs or something like
Did
that.
they win?
No.
No, they lost.
They won the year after he retired.
Right.
Yeah, they never.
They
he
never won with
He
him,
never won.
but
He
he
never
murdered
won.
everybody.
Right.
And then the year he retired,
He retired, they won.
But did he win the game?
Oh,
I don't know. They lost the
Yeah.
series. I know that. I don't know if they won the
Did he
game.
win that game?
Yeah.
You're losing the score of 60 something.
Elgin used to
Might
kill
have been
him.
part of the problem.
Okay. It's two more. I got two more, but I'm gonna go with this one.
All right.
Name some of the top sports rivalries. We can go with all the pro sports and college.
Name the top.
Boston Yankees.
Boston Yankees is number one.
You stole
any
it, Todd. I was gonna say
Any sport, I said.
Yankees,
My
Dodgers.
cheat sheet.
No. Yankees and Red Sox is number one.
Definitely.
So Giants and Dodgers.
No, it's not.
Ra-
It's not.
Ravens?
It's not in the top six.
Ravens, Steelers.
No.
What are you talking about now?
Any
Sorry.
sport?
Any
Sport
sport.
rivalries.
Top
Any
rivalry.
sport
Any
and
sport.
college.
Knicks and
In college,
Celtics.
UNC Duke.
Yeah, they're number.
So Michigan, Ohio State.
Celtics, Lakers.
Michigan, Ohio State.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan, Ohio State is 6. Duke and NC North Carolina is number 5.
Celtics, Lakers.
Yes.
Yes.
Celtics, Lakers is number 3.
Yo, you be wrong. Don't steal my. Yo,
You said that. You said, but he's killing me. David's
There's
killing
one
me.
before them. There's one before them.
So we got 2 left.
There's
You
2
said-
left.
The Knicks and
You
the
said
Celtics.
Yankees, Red Sox.
Yes.
Yes.
That's number one.
No. Yankees, Red Sox is number 1.
Yeah.
Celtics, Lakers.
They got any hockey
Dodgers,
ones in there?
Dodgers, Yankees.
No.
They got
That's
hockey
a
in
good
there?
quarter.
They
Huh?
got hockey in there?
he said any sport.
Yeah,
No,
there is
but
a
they-
hockey.
He said any sport.
Montreal and the Bruins.
No. No. But there is a hockey. Hockey is
So
Rangers
it's
and
not the Edmonton
What did you
Oilers.
just say, Dave?
Rangers and Islanders.
There you go.
Who he
I
said?
was gonna say
Rangers and the Islanders.
Yeah,
was
no,
gonna
they
say
got
They number 4. Who's
How
the
did
number
they get on
2?
the train fighting?
Number 2 is a football.
Oh,
The Steelers and the Ravens.
I
No.
said that already.
No.
Steelers and the Cowboys.
Redskins and the Cowboys.
Giants.
Redskins and the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
No.
Really?
No.
That's not- Oh, Bears, Packers.
There you go.
I'm about to say.
There you go. Bears Packers.
Man, how the
number 2.
Redskins and Cowboys? That was rivalry.
Back,
boy.
back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, Bears, Packers.
I would think the Mets and Yankees is
You would
like the
think.
top one.
Nah,
Recently.
but that's
Red
recent.
Yankees and Red
That's-
Sox.
that's
is
recent.
What does
definitely
it
top.
matter?
that's
you
dope,
know,
definitely.
like
They
you
just
know
started
what's so
Subway
funny
Series.
about
I wouldn't
that?
watch no baseball, but if them 2 teams was playing, I'm watching.
They
it.
play,
I'm watching.
and there'd be so many fights on tapes and everything.
Right,
It's
right.
crazy.
But that's recently. That
What?
wasn't like back in the day. The ones
Right.
that you named have been going on for like
Right.
30,
Right.
40 years.
Right.
That
'cause
wasn't part of the
Ravens,
trivia
Steelers is
question of
just-
how many
is
years it
kinda
was.
No, it says the
Oh,
biggest
Dave,
rivalry.
and to answer your question,
Compared to those.
Elgin Baylor, they beat the Celtics that day, 126 to 121 when he scored 60
I
points.
don't think
Okay.
they did.
They lost the series 4-3 as always.
Right. And then
Because
he
they always
retired
lost the
and
7
then
games to them
always.
guys.
They won the next year.
That was good.
And that was
And the year he
1962.
retired, they won.
That was
Ain't crazy?
1962. I was a little child of 5 years old at that time.
Wow.
I was born that year.
What year you said?
That was a good one.
62.
That was a
I
good
wasn't
one,
even
Kurt.
thought of.
Yeah, you was an afterthought.
You got one
Greg.
more, right? You had one more. No.
Yeah, but it's kind of weak. This one. I mean,
Weak means
Hey,
we'll
go
get
for
it.
okay, ready?
Yeah, we'll get it.
Okay, here
We'll
we go.
get it easy.
Okay. Out of
At
all
least
the
we
big
better.
the big 4 sports teams,
The Big Four.
the lowest win percentage out of all hockey,
The big
baseball,
sports franchise
basketball, football.
organization.
The team with the lowest win
I'm gonna
percentage.
say
Out of each
basketball.
one.
A team or the
Team.
You know-
Team.
You know who?
Basketball.
Team.
You gotta say
Oh,
team.
name the team.
Name the team.
Brooklyn Nets.
No, they're not number 1.
I just thought you was trying to dig at
No,
it.
no.
I would have said
76ers.
No. Huh?
76ers.
No.
Nah.
Yo,
No.
They won 9 games one year.
No, he
Yeah.
said
They had a lot
The
of
lowest win
he said
percentage.
history all time.
Yeah, they
No.
won 9 games one
No,
year.
but when Wilt was there, they was winning.
They was winning.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's
Yeah, they
but I'm
was-
saying
yeah,
one
they-
year
they
they
had
won
like-
he
9
said,
games.
no, he said all
And
time.
they were winning with
All
Doc and
time.
Malone. They was
The
winning.
Nets, they had a lot of good teams for a long time.
They was
No.
they like the 4th winningest team, I think.
Yeah,
Third
they
or
might
fourth.
be.
What, Philly?
76
Yeah.
all time.
They might be.
Even though they've been in all this
Let's
losing.
see. The absolute worst
The Cleveland
team.
Browns. Oh no.
Oh,
You
man.
know, it would
That
make-
was a
you know,
good
it would
good
make my
shot.
heart feel good if it was the New York Mets, but I know it's not them either. 'cause
No,
you
it's
wouldn't
not
ask
the Mets.
that question if it was the
The
Mets.
worst team at East.
It wasn't the Nets either. So
There might be
Yeah, I
some
know.
expansion teams.
no. Well, yeah, it is an
Yeah,
expansion
it might
team.
be some expansion teams.
It's an
Montreal
expansion team.
Expos.
I give you one. It's football, but it's expansion team.
Who's the worst football team ever?
Not the Canadian League.
No,
The Saints?
the
No.
Titans.
nope. And this team has won a Super Bowl.
The Saints.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they was bad.
They was horrible.
Tampa
was
Bay
horrible.
was bad.
Cleveland's a good guess though.
Yeah.
'Cause they've had some bad
Oh
seasons.
my goodness.
For a good
Shoot,
while.
that wasn't that easy,
I started
man.
to say the Jets, but
Nah, just
what the hell?
Just winning.
When's the last time Cleveland went to the
Playoff.
No,
when
I mean-
it was an NFL championship.
When
not
Jim
a
Brown
Super
was
Bowl.
playing.
right?
When it,
It's
yeah,
been
right.
a while.
That's NFL
But
championship.
They were real good back
Did
then.
they leave? They moved the team to.
Right.
Well, they left it
They
with
got
the
a-
Baltimore, and they came back, brought the team back.
They
Right.
got
Team
about
back.
5 championships, I think.
As an
As
NFL
a-
championship.
Right, not Super Bowl. I believe they got about 5.
Well, the NFL championship was
Yeah,
the
but
Super
you're talking
Bowl.
Otto Graham days. So
No, that's what I'm saying.
Damn.
No, the Senate, the
It was
Super
black
Bowl.
and
You
white
don't know.
football.
You don't even know who you
I
talking
know what you're
about.
talking about. The Super Bowl is AFL. It was AFC versus
Was
NFC.
Otto Graham black or white?
Knock it off.
It
Knock
was
it
in
off.
black and white.
Knock it off. Right. It was in black and white. Knock it off, Kurt.
Couldn't tell.
Was Jim Thorpe black or white?
Knock it off, Kurt.
You ain't
Knock
answer
it
the
off.
question.
I'm not answering the question.
Why not?
Because I refuse to answer the question.
Do you know who Jim
I
Thorpe
know
was?
all of them.
You know who
I
Jim
know
Thorpe
all
was?
of them.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Was
Why
he
you,
Native
why you getting
American?
huffy puffy?
Because he
for,
always
man?
do this.
Why you
He
getting
always
huffy
do
puffy,
this.
man?
You sure you know those guys?
Otto Graham was a quarterback.
Okay.
All right.
And Jim Thorpe was.
I don't know his position, but I know him.
You know?
Yeah.
But you don't know the guy next
I'm
to
about
you
to call
name.
his family right now.
But he don't know.
you don't know the guy next to you.
I'm about to call him too.
You don't know my name. Who you calling?
Yeah, who you calling?
I'm looking at the.
You
I'm
calling
looking
his wife?
at. I'm looking at the Texans.
Yo, he's calling Sharon.
I'm looking at the Texans.
He's calling Sharon.
Yo.
Hey, you.
I'm looking at. Oh, here you go, right
Yeah,
here.
that's what he got him down. He
I'm
got
sorry.
that guy next to me. That's what he says on the phone.
T.O. Todd. I
Yo.
got him.
This is the craziest thing. He's looking at the TV camera like I'm looking right at him and can't say his name. Yeah, he crazy. Right.
Yo, memory loss is real. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna
That's
tell
all
you,
I'm gonna say.
you need to start doing
King
crossword
Cobra.
puzzles.
Hey,
Do some brain teasing.
let me
Because that's a bad sign when you can't even remember the guy next
let
to
me
you.
add
you-
on, which is funny. We went to the Capitol Jazz yesterday.
Y'all need to
it's-
check. Y'all need
so
to go.
right, and yeah, we need to discuss that like next year because it's always first weekend in June.
Who is
Yeah.
It's Friday, Saturday,
Everybody.
Sunday.
A lot of people.
Right, a whole lineup
Yeah.
that you know that we can't remember.
Yeah, hip hop.
No,
Yeah.
R&B.
That Big Daddy Kane was there.
It's R&B.
Yeah, he was there.
It's a little R&B and it's jazz.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. It's like maybe a little old school.
Yeah.
Right,
In
right.
Vogue.
Stuff that we grew up on.
Right. And Vogue was there.
Chick Corea.
Yeah, TLC. Somebody they did a
No,
tribute
but
to David
Marcus Miller was
Sanborn.
there.
Marcus Miller.
Marcus
They
Miller.
did a tribute.
They did
to
the
David
Sanborn
Right.
and what's his name? Roy Ayers.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know Marco Juana had a band.
Get out of there.
Jamal
Warner, yeah.
He had a
Really?
band.
Oh,
Yeah, he
wow.
had a band
So-
play there.
Did you see
I mean-
JD in the straight shot?
No, I didn't see that.
So it's not.
I didn't
It's,
see
it's
that.
something that you know if it's playing.
It's
properly,
amazing he can
it's
remember that,
something
but he
good.
can't remember.
But
it's-
then you see
it's
people
Right.
that
That's
you
your
know,
new name. You know that's your
and
new
you
name,
start
right?
to
Team?
get their names.
Yeah, exactly.
The team,
Yeah,
that's
hey
your new
Dave
name.
and all that.
Yo,
Right.
it was quite a few people there
Matter
for
of
the
fact,
job.
when we do
Yeah, a
the
lot
new-
of people
when we
go there. I
do
know
the
a lot
new
of people
intro,
goes to
we're
those
gonna go Dave, Coach, Serge, Mungo, and the Magnificent.
What's his name again? Oh man.
Yeah, so
That guy.
Yo,
So,
you should
that
know.
guy.
You should know his name, right? You know his name?
Who?
Him. Don't be who.
the
That's
Greg
one-
is.
That's one of the Greggies.
Oh,
right.
One of-
That's
yeah.
one of the Greggies.
Oh, that was
No.
funny. Y'all had 3 of them last week.
If he
That was last week. Y'all had 3.
2 weeks ago.
If
2
he
weeks
forget
ago.
his name, that's a problem.
That's one of the Greggies.
So-
Ted.
So Dave,
Let's move on to baseball.
so Dave, 2 weeks
All
ago when you were saying Greg, did they all answer?
We
No.
don't
No,
call
we
him
still got
Greg.
our own. We still got
His
our
name
own
is
names.
Mongo.
We still got our own
Mungo,
names.
G Money, and
Okay,
T.
McCoy.
Top.
And
Right.
yeah.
Top.
Top.
Right,
Yeah,
right. We still got
Yo,
our own
it's hard to call
Okay.
him. Yo, it really is. Like,
Because I would have loved to have seen that. You,
If you
and
would
Greg,
ask
what do
him
you
what's his
think?
real name.
yo, it took me.
So he's
That was the
about-
Triple G
12
team.
years to
That's
know that his
G
name is
Money
Greg.
and
Right,
the
he's
GT.
Bungo.
Right.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
Your name
you
is
should have just said Greg. I would have loved that. That would have been.
Well, we aligned our questions to the smarter Greg. You know.
Yeah, well, that's real messed up because there's two of them here. Which one you talking about?
It was bookends.
No, it's three of us here. You
Oh,
talking
it
about
was bookends.
You talking about GT? You talking about GT?
Yeah, we
Right.
talked
Messed up.
But we
Right.
talked, yeah,
Talking about the smart one.
but
Right.
we
You
it
let him
was
talk
bookends.
like
So
that.
When's
we
the Dallas
talking
fan?
about-
We need this for
When's the Steelers fan? Hey, Greg.
We need this
Yeah,
for
Greg is
clips
a
right
Jet
now.
fan.
Oh, okay.
We didn't address it. We did the
Oh,
bookends.
okay.
Like that.
Oh, you didn't answer nothing. You just
You gotta go. You gotta go get the foot. You gotta look at the footage.
yeah.
You gotta look at the
So, all right, let's talk a little baseball. The Mets on the roll,
Yes,
and
yes.
the
Yes,
Yankees
they are.
played.
Polar Bear playing good, but
Played,
right now
um,
he's smacking
yeah.
them out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he don't want to hear
He
that.
said,
He's like,
okay.
And the Yankees said, "Boston, you're our daddies." All right, so
mhm.
that wasn't good. But,
that
I
was
watched
bad.
some of that
think
game the
that was
other
bad.
night.
but I think that they will go back to Boston this weekend, return favorites.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, I hope
We
so.
need to. We definitely need to. We need to sweep them.
Yeah, I believe,
Just take them out their misery.
I believe they will, but they gotta come in attack mode. So,
Oh, speaking of that, I know Todd said the guy was a fool. But as far as I'm concerned, he's one of my new favorite players, even though he hates the Yankees, because he's got enough commitment to say that if the Yankees was the only team that was
he
going to
wouldn't
sign
play-
him,
yeah.
he wouldn't play for them. That is true hate.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. When
I
you
know
talk
how you
about
like
true
that.
hate.
That's your man. That's your man, right?
Right. That's
that's-
taking your hate
That's
to the
Serge.
next level.
That's Serge.
So he's saying if they give him a big
If he was the
payday,
only, he wouldn't play for
He
them no
said
matter
that
how
if
much
that was
money.
the only team that was left that was going to
He
offer him
wouldn't
a
play.
job, he wouldn't play for them.
Yep.
Wow.
Didn't
Yeah.
Griffey say that too?
Griffey said
No,
that he would
Black
never play. For them.
Guerrero used to
But
say
Griffey-
it, but
Griffey
Yeah.
said that
he
too.
changed his
Yeah.
mind now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Griffey
Griffey,
had a-
told
Griffey
you
did
that's
say
the way
that.
they
They
treated
treated his
daddy.
daddy,
Yeah.
right.
And that's the same thing Guerrero.
No, it wasn't
because he
so
jumped
much
his
that.
father.
I think when he came in the dugout, they were saying, "Why is he here?
Right,
Why is he here?" The kid, he was a little kid.
right.
They was like, "Get this kid out of here," but yet Greg Nettles and everybody had their kids
Right,
there, and
they
they was
kid out of
fine.
it, right.
But he said, "Yo, he would never play for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Never play for them."
Right.
Yeah, and Guerrero did say that too, but he changed his mind now.
Yeah, because the
Right.
money.
Uh,
If the money's right, he's gonna go wherever.
he's damn right.
Well,
He don't
I
have
mean, you know,
commitment like
people-
my man from Boston.
Yeah. That guy from Boston was like, "Yo,
I know,
They
Todd. You
can
think
be-
you're a fool.
yeah."
but he's my new idol. The hate is
Old
real,
school-
baby.
The
The
hate
hate
is-
is
That's
real.
yeah.
old school hate right there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Stand up
Keep
Keep the
principle.
hate
That's
alive.
Serge man, boy.
Keep the hate alive. He's like me. When the Mets were playing the Boston Red Sox in the World Series, I actually was rooting for Boston to beat the Mets. That's how much the
Ooh,
hate
that's
is real.
deep. That's deep.
The hate is that real.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
I
that's-
went for Boston.
That's
over the Mets.
deep.
It did.
That's-
It did work. And I'm gonna tell you a funny story. When the Mets won that 6th game, they was losing.
Yes, they
And
was.
I was in the Bronx at my uncle's birthday party.
Yeah.
And I went to the car to wait for my mother because she was leaving. And I'm listening in the car, and the Mets is coming back. And there's these little kids walking across the street with Met stuff on. And I started to start the car up and run them kids over. That's how bad the hate was.
Oh my
But
God.
I didn't
Through
because I said,
Buckner.
I can't, right, exactly. I said it's not Bill Buckner, so no. If it was Bill Buckner in the middle of the street, I might have ran his ass over. Oh, excuse me. I might have ran his butt over. But no, I wasn't going to take the kids out. I came to my senses, but that Met uniform
That was the
stuff
craziest.
almost threw me off.
That was the
Almost.
craziest thing in the world, boy. When that ball went through his
that
legs.
close.
Yo, he thought he had it right through his legs.
Right
That
through
was
his legs.
crazy.
I-
Yo, he was done in Boston, yo.
I was gonna celebrate. I was ready. I said, "Oh my God, they're
They
actually gonna
did.
beat them."
Didn't they
They
do?
lost that game.
Didn't they do
And I
a
knew it
30
was
for
over.
30 on him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
they
he-
finally
was
let him back.
Threatened his life. He had to
Yeah.
move out of
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
They wanted to kill him and all
It
that
took him
stuff.
30 years before he came back.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
I guess I would have never came back
They
after
gotta
that.
win it. They gotta win for you.
Right,
to
they
come
had
back.
to win
Yeah, for
Yeah.
you to be able to come back.
because he couldn't come back until they won.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that
was-
was
they was holding
crazy.
that. That
Oh,
was
dog.
rough.
Because you gotta remember, they had so many bad luck.
Right,
situations.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it was the Yankees or when they got
Right,
to the,
it's just
to
bad
the-
luck,
Right.
right. They
They
ne-
just had-
They never won a World Series until Dave Ortiz and them won it that
Right.
year,
Right.
and that's
and
why
it took
it
and
was
it
that
took
bad.
that. It took us to have bad luck.
Right,
Right.
right. We
It
lost
was
4
like
out
the
of 4 in a row.
Right.
Only team
4
that would
in
do
a
it.
row. Y'all was
Only
up
team.
3-0, lost
Night.
4
That's
in a
what we
row.
Guaranteed.
And
That was
that goes
crazy.
to show you how bad the hate is when I could root for a team that beat us 4 games
Right,
in a row after
right.
we lost 3 games in a row against another team.
Right.
I would never root for Boston against anybody except one team in the whole major league.
That's crazy, and that's a serious rival.
That-
Boston
right,
and the
that is
Yankees,
they
and
on
you
the
would
list.
go for them.
You know, they
They on
got
the
they
list.
got a pill for that.
They got a
No,
feel
they don't have it.
Yeah,
They don't have it.
it's
That's-
called
that's
it's
called
called cyanide.
It's
That's
That
called
pill don't work on Surge.
That's only LeBron pill, and I don't take that pill from Coach no more.
That pill don't work on Surge.
Yeah.
That pill don't work because I
Yo.
don't take it.
They got a
Yeah,
pill.
that's out of control.
They said it's
Right,
called
you don't take it
cyanide.
No, I know what Coach
He
is trying to
passed it
do.
on. He passed it on.
Pass it over.
He passed it on.
They really
And then
got
he
a pill.
And then he grabs this.
Yeah, now I grabbed the icebreakers.
Just take it and say night
I was
night.
trying to poison him. And say,
They try to poison my mind.
You ain't never know that every
I
time
know
you
he
go,
do,
he
I
always
know.
pass it down.
Just messing with him.
Listen,
That's it.
Nah, it ain't that. It's for some reason Wintergreen just don't agree with me no more. I don't know what it is. But I'm not a
Yo,
Wintergreen
Kirby
guy.
passed the
LeBron-
ball. Kirby passed the ball. And then he be like,
LeBron
all right, so now we're
called
going to
you-
talk basketball.
LeBron called
Let's
you,
start with the
told you don't
Lakers.
do it.
Yeah, that too. LeBron's paying me not to take him.
Oh, that,
Don't-
yeah.
Yeah, he's paying me.
Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't
what's
do
his
it.
name? What's his name?
Yeah,
Shit, it's, you know,
Rich
yeah,
Paul.
Rich Paul
Called me.
Hey.
He was sitting next to Adele. He said, "Yo, sir, don't take them pills, man. Do not take them pills."
Did you hear what you call him said?
About Rich Paul?
No. Starberry said that they give him a call. He
Yeah,
would,
they was looking to it too. Yeah.
that he would coach his team.
Yeah.
Who?
Starberry.
Stephon Marbury.
Steph, yeah.
You coach the Knicks?
But
Yeah.
Ron
He
Artest
said-
said it too.
Ron
Yeah,
Artest.
Ron
said-
Artest said he
Man,
would
yeah.
coach.
Oh yeah, I ain't know
And,
about
and
stuff.
the Knicks picked up the phone and said, "Yo, Ron, here, talk to Starberry." That's what they did. Y'all talk to each other because y'all both delusional.
You ever
Yeah,
see?
that's so
you ever see-
I think
crazy.
Starberry's been in China too long.
Yeah,
He's
You
boy.
trying
ever
to
see
see
the
the
joke?
coach.
You ever see the joke where the person called the Chinese restaurant here and then called the Chinese restaurant here on two separate cell phones and then they you called here.
Yeah,
What's your order? What's your order?
that's
That's what
funny.
the Knicks did to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to each other. Yo, Ron, I'll take the job. Yo, okay, Starberry, don't worry about it. I got you.
Oh, man.
That's too funny.
That's bad for you.
Jesus
Yeah, they
Christ.
was, yeah, they both
That's the same thing with Patrick Ewing probably too. Like, yeah.
But you know what's funny?
give Pat the job.
You know,
Yeah,
you know who they big
that's
up in
never
now?
happened.
Ray John Rondo.
Yeah.
A lot of
right.
people
Lot of people.
actually
Williams
think that
brought
this
him
guy's going to be a really good
Yeah.
coach.
What's going to keep talking about it?
Jay Will.
Jay Will.
Yeah.
He keep talking about it.
Why does anybody listen to Jay Will? Man?
I'm just saying.
Why you don't like his commentating?
He's another guy. He think everything he say.
Like, he think,
Oh,
right.
he think
that's
everything he say is
Kendrick
gospel.
Perkins.
and
Yeah.
shit.
Kendrick Perkins is like,
Although he didn't read
But
his
see that-
contract and
right.
not getting on a motorcycle.
You
and
put,
shit,
Yeah.
man.
you put
Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins,
Well,
Jay Will,
he
and
read
Stephen A.
it.
Smith
He
in the
just
same
wanted to ride a
room.
Forget
motorcycle.
about it.
And none of them two will ever agree with
Right.
anything.
No,
Right, yeah.
and Jason Whitlock.
Yeah,
we
he's
don't-
another one.
we ain't even
Oh,
gonna
he
talk
another
about
one.
him.
Yeah, well, they got rid of him.
Yeah, we don't
He
even
don't
talk
even
about him.
exist no more.
Nah,
right there.
you don't even say that name
Right,
anymore.
right.
He's a
Jason
fool.
Whitlock.
He's a fool.
He is a fool.
I had said Ewan. What did I say? I said Ewan, Maurice Cheeks, and Budenhauser.
Who?
Budenhauser.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Why would you put
None
them
of those
together as
guys.
what?
He said,
Coach for the
next
Knicks.
up for the Knicks.
I
next
wouldn't
up for the
choose
Knicks.
none of them.
No, not me either.
Yeah,
None of them.
you can't do the interview.
You see, you guys will say that, and then this week y'all be like, "Oh snap, they grabbed him! Wow,
And
and I'll be
I
like,
was
"Yo,
gonna say that. Only you.
You know
no,
what?
you guys be
You know
Look,
what? If
I
that
said
happens-
I didn't like
Look, when I told
Budenholzer
y'all
when he
about
was on the
Tibbs,
bus. I didn't
y'all
like
wild
Budenholzer.
about Tibbs. And
I
I'm
didn't
like,
like-
"Yo, y'all seen that coming? Y'all didn't see that coming?"
We all said that we knew he would have a chance to be
He's
fired.
been
Get out of
coaching a
here.
long time, man. What are
We
you
all, that
talking
wasn't
about?
no
You guys
surprise.
know.
Hold up.
This is why I'm glad we got footage.
All right,
This is
well,
why I'm
let-
glad we
Now
got
I tell you, I'm the one that said, "Wow." I'm the one that said that.
Just a
But
second.
it wasn't like I was surprised.
So
You know what I'm saying? I just put that on the
let's-
thing.
Before we get up there, let's break this down right quick.
Mhm.
Is Aaron Rodgers going to earn that 19.5 million? He signed for 10 million, and he can earn up to 19.5. Let's break down those numbers
So,
right quick. Could he make it?
Tell the truth.
And shame the devil.
so the bottom line is this. All right. For me, I'm glad he's here.
I know
I
we
need
know.
him there. Obviously, I want to bet another receiver. You know, we lost Pickens. It still come down to this offensive line. They supposed to be moving what's the name back to his regular side, the cat that was giving me all these problems.
Who you
Broderick
talking
Jones.
about? Who you talking
Broderick Jones.
about? Oh, because you saying what's his name?
Yeah,
Who's that?
because he
Talk
had
about you, Todd.
Yeah, I know.
because he had a problem. He's been having a problem on the right side, so they're moving him back to his natural side, which is the left side.
What's his name again?
So now, if the line is good, I think we okay.
You better protect him.
Now, what you guys just said about your boy
Aaron Rodgers.
Tibbs? No. What you guys said about your boy Tibbs?
Stick to the Steelers.
I'm sticking to the Steelers.
okay.
I feel the same way as with Tomlin. The difference between the two, Steelers is more loyal to their coaches than the Knicks is to their coaches, right?
We know
So
that.
now Tomlin has to do what he needs to do. He has to do certain things where he's got to make the right calls, man. We in situations where, like you said, any little thing could cause us some losses and we won't make the playoffs, or we'll be on the road for the playoffs.
That
And I
wasn't
don't
the
want
question,
that.
sir. The
I
question
don't know if
was-
he's going to earn the 10 to 19. I don't know. What I'm telling you is, if the line is good, he should be okay. If the line is good,
I have a question.
he should be okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, great.
Because
Is-
he didn't answer mine.
Is
I just told you I don't know.
no wait. Is Aaron Rodgers fits better with Pittsburgh's lineup than the Jets? What the Jets
I
had
don't
last
really
year?
know what the Jets had because I ain't watching Jets like that. These guys got
How many games is going to take for him to throw his players under the bus? I say 3.
well.
3 plays or
Well, look,
Three
look,
games. I say
Look,
3 games.
look, let me say this. Let me say this. It could be a clash between Tomlin and Rodgers too, because of Tomlin risk taking, his stupid stuff he does. So that could wind up being an issue.
They played the Jets the first game.
Yeah.
Who's the offensive coordinator?
Tomlin.
No, I forgot.
It's not Arthur Smith or whatever. his name is?
Arthur
Yeah,
Smith.
that's
think it is.
yeah. That's
I think
it.
it
That's
is.
You
exactly.
doubted me. I think.
That's exactly
I
who it
think
I'm
is.
sorry, man.
That's
I think
exactly
he's
who it
right.
is.
It's
That's
right.
exactly who it
I was
is.
thinking of the owner
But it
of
still
Atlanta.
come down. It still come down to
He used to be the head coach.
Right.
yeah. It was Kavanaugh before him, but Kavanaugh they
Yeah.
got him out of here. So yeah.
So
So
you thought I picked that name out of a hat.
Yes,
didn't
I thought you did.
we got the pieces.
Oh, you
We
do?
just-
You
yeah,
do?
we got the pieces.
Really?
No,
You
don't.
do?
No, you
You
don't.
You need another receiver.
So if you had the
That's the only
piece,
thing we
That's
missing.
it.
That's the only thing
And
we
that's a
missing.
lot.
But no, we'll see what these guys can do. That's all. We got the pieces. We got
Listen to this. Listen to this. And I said it here first.
What?
This is going to be Tomlin's first losing season. Remember I said
Wow.
write it down.
that. Remember I
Write
said
it down,
I
man.
don't care about that.
I'm
That's not what
just
I
letting
care
you know.
What,
Because-
that's not what you care about.
I'm just letting you know.
Because I've
Losing
been
season
wanting
means-
him out of here. So if he gets a losing season, hopefully he's up out of here. All right.
Yeah, that'll work right into his plan.
Exactly.
What plan is that?
To get rid of.
You get rid of Tomlin.
And then what you gonna do?
We'll move on to
Nah,
another
hey,
coach.
Tibbs.
We'll move on to the next coach.
You be in Dave's shoes now.
All I need,
Now,
Rodgers.
all
to
you
do
need, all you
is
need is the
manage the
Yankees
game.
manager out now. You be good,
All I
right?
need Rodgers to do
No, the
is
GM.
manage
He
the
wants the
game.
GM.
Oh, the GM, right?
Yeah,
gotcha.
motivator.
Oh.
And Boone is suspect, but I mean, not well. I could really live with Cashman, but it's just certain things about him that just
He been there forever too.
right,
He's arrogant too.
right.
Yeah.
That
The
that
Yankees.
Huh?
The Yankees, they going to be like that. They rich Yankees. They
But
got
they-
5
you know, but-
championships under
but-
their belt. They
but
got
you gotta
27,
win.
28
You know, but you
championships.
gotta continuously win.
Wait a minute. Hold up. As a
Franchise?
a franchise, yes,
Right.
they are rich
Right.
because of the Yankees,
Right.
but they're not one of the richest owners.
No, all
No,
they
I-
have is baseball. All they do is baseball.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's. I think what they got boating or something. Don't
That's
they?
what
They
that's
used to.
That was
they
the
used
father
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
right,
ship,
right.
though.
That was the
But
father.
they billionaires. Nobody's saying that they're the top
because of the
richest
franchise.
team.
Yes,
Right, but they billionaires.
well, they are the number one baseball as far
Right,
as
right.
the
right,
franchise.
right.
Yes,
Most expensive.
right.
They got their daddy's money.
Yeah, they good. They in good shape, man. They.
But no, they
I
know way
seen.
near the
Did you
top
see when? Did you see
ownership.
when? Was it
The Mets are.
Cashman?
Yeah.
Did you see when? Was it Cashman that got pulled over by the cops?
They did.
Yeah, he got pulled over because the car or something was suspected for something.
Yeah.
And they pulled him over, and then after they found, yeah, we know who you are, they, do the little routine, whatever. And you know what I'm saying? He get roughed up and he got out the car, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm so and so for the Yankees. Yeah, we know who you are. Come on, man.
And what does
That's
that
good.
mean?
I'm just saying.
Well,
they
he
good.
don't like the
They-
idea
they-
that he got a pass. Maybe
they in good shape. They fine. They nothing
He
bad
just saying
going
if that was Mike Tomlin, he would have got the crap
on. Oh
kicked
yeah,
out
Mike
of him
might have got
by the
some.
cops.
Mike just might have got
Who are you?
Who is that? Who is that?
You better win
Oh,
these
that's the
games.
coach of the Chiefs.
Yeah, you fit the description of this crime
Yeah,
Right.
right.
that happened down the block.
Right. All right, so we need to wrap it up. Good show, y'all. Again, we'll be back next week.
You're about 8 minutes early, bro.
I just
Six
need
minutes.
Rodgers to manage the game.
Everybody,
It's
everybody gonna have their
6:24.
say go
Yeah.
around.
All right, so I start off with you, Greg.
Great show. Thank you for all the listeners listening. Everyone have a blessed day, blessed week. See y'all next week, God willing.
Magnificent.
My name is the Magnificent. Remember that, man. When you address me, you make sure you say the Magnificent.
Tell
Magnificent.
You
him
understand?
magnificent. Tell him again.
I am that
Yes,
magnificent.
as
You
always,
gotta get that on there, man.
time goes by when you're having
I
fun,
told you
but
we got clips.
yes, it's good. It's always good to be in the house, man, with the fellas, man, and we do this with our listeners. We appreciate you guys, and looking forward to the next show.
Should I say the Gregiest or the Relic?
Slick the relic, the living. Listen,
The living.
the word of the day.
He's a fossil.
The word of the day is
He didn't even
ginkgo.
remember that.
All right, ginkgo is the word of the day.
King
y'all.
Cobra.
Yeah. I didn't say King Cobra. I said ginkgo.
Oh,
The memory,
King Cobra.
the memory
Oh, I
supplement.
thought you said King Cobra.
And it's amazing because I was just gonna say thank you to everybody and anybody out
I
there who
did
got
see
any
that.
Gin
Yeah,
Cobra. Please send it
Is it
to us
ginkgo or ginkgo?
so we could give it to my man here so he can remember who that guy on the other side is.
I don't know what's up.
Because I don't know who he is either now. He got me so confused. I forgot who everybody in here is. I don't even know my own name right now.
Welcome back, Serge. All right.
Oh, that's me? Thank you.
Welcome back, Sports Star. Go ahead, Kurt.
Is it
Man.
Surge or the bus? Sports
I'm
Center?
glad we got
you
everybody
don't
in
know,
here
you know.
today, man. It's so much better when everybody's here. The show be flowing and everything. I'm glad we got Tiny here hooking
Yes,
us
sir.
up with his, elaborate cameras and everything like that. I'm glad the people listen to us. Keep listening to us.
Yes.
Tell a friend, tell a foe, as Dave always say. Thank you.
All right, appreciate y'all. So we did have a little problem with Facebook, but we are on YouTube. Like and share. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Tiny for holding us down. Can we give him some love? Like,
Let's go. Let's go.
all right.
Tiny's in the building.
All right. So again, we'll be back next week, and we appreciate everybody rocking out with us. See y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm glad about that. See, you got time to play your music, man.
Really? I do? Okay. Let me see if I can vibe and whatnot.
Okay.
Vibe on.
You didn't even get punched in the face.
Wow. It's all on camera. Look.
You go in there.
That's this Thursday. At Red Lobster, Green Acres. Yeah. Serge, you coming? Red Lobster, Green Acres on Thursday. Bring Wanda with you. 12. Huh? What happened? Yeah, right, yeah. Seymour, yeah. Oh no, they put name tags because then people know who's who. You know what I mean? Which makes sense.
That's when I first got here.
Done right now.
That's why I ain't seen him for 20 years. How long it's been? It's been. Yeah, I ain't seen him for years, but I knew who he was. He was like, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?"